setting where dreams become reality. Emotion is the universal element in sports. It unites the young and the old, the player and the fan. And we have run the gamut of emotion in the 1993 edition of the College World Series. And emotion has fueled the championship run of everyone here. The Tigers cruised through the opening round behind the masterful pitching of Mike Sorotka. And the surprise hitting performance of senior Jim Greeley. He's raised his average 29 points and is having an MVP series. Only a dramatic Long Beach State comeback has kept LSU from being perfect. The 49ers call themselves a dirtbags, a tribute to their hustle and desire. Freshman Jeff Leifer has been the hitting star with a .500 average and 2 homers. And pinch hitter Eddie Davis played the hero with a 2-run pinch hit homer to stave off elimination. This is the national semifinal game. The Long Beach State 49ers facing the Tigers of LSU. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. These teams have played each other now for the 3rd time. The winner today gets a spot in the national championship game. We asked both coaches for their approach in a winner-take-all situation.
I told our guys our focus has got to be on today, and I think as you go through the tournament, the tendency can be to start looking beyond. You know, you start getting ahead of yourself. And again, we're going to get back down to it. It's going to be a pitch-at-a-time approach. We're going to try and win each inning, one at a time, and lock ourselves into the ingredients of playing the game properly, and don't worry about the results.
I don't think that the pressure is a big factor. I don't think that they're really nervous in terms of it's the last chance. I think they just want to do well, and they can feel it in the pit of their stomach, and I feel they want to be the hero. And they've been told that anyone at all can be the hero of the College World Series.
Steve Garvey joins me now. And Steve, I don't care what anybody says, the nerves have to be a little on edge right now.
Well, these 49ers are tanned, ready, and relaxed, coming off the high of a great come-from-behind victory 2 days ago against these LSU Tigers. On the other hand, Skip Bertman gives his team a professional attitude. He has them relaxed, concentrated. Both of them know there's no tomorrow if they don't win today.
For some of these players, the College World Series is the next step up the ladder of their career. But for others, the College World Series is the ultimate. For more on that, here's Larry Conley.
Thanks, Mike. You know, when we began our coverage last week and we started this College World Series, we wanted to show you the great abilities of future Major League Baseball stars, players like Darren Dreifert and Brooks Kieschnick. But this World Series is a lot more than just stars. It has to do with seniors and what they contribute to. So today we applaud those seniors. Players like Kenny Jackson of LSU, who epitomizes all that is good about college baseball, and Rudy Rodriguez of Long Beach State. They, like all seniors before them, probably have seen their final day in the sun.
The opening pitch of the semifinal game at the College World Series coming up.
ESPN's presentation of the 1993 College World Series is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you, friends know when to say when.
Welcome back to the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. Long Beach State brings a 46-18 record into the semifinal. Dave Snow in his 5th year with the 49ers. Leading off, the club's all-time stolen base leader, Kobe Cradle in center. Batting second and playing second base, junior Eric Martins. Pinch hit hero Eddie Davis gets the start in left field today. Kevin Curtis is the cleanup man and right fielder. Brian Smith will bat 5th and play at first base. Next is true freshman Jeff Leifer, the hitting star and DH today. Senior Brian Watley will catch and bat in the 7th spot. Shortstop Rudy Rodriguez, the team leader, bats 8th. He's a senior. And batting 9th, Tim Falskin, the 3rd baseman.
Pitching for the Tigers, Mike Sorotka. The numbers speak for themselves, and he's got 4 quality pitches. Catching, Adrian Antonini, a great smile to go along with a great arm. At first base, Kenny Jackson. Good, solid defensive first baseman with power. At second base, Todd Walker, one of the best players in the country. At shortstop, Russ Johnson. Great range, arm, and desire. At third base, Jason Williams, another strong arm coming off an All-American performance. And left field, Jim Greeley, so far the MVP of this College World Series. In center field, Armando Rios makes the big play at the right time. And in right field, Harry Barrios, good arm, the complete player.
Another sellout crowd on hand here, and summer has arrived in Omaha. Approaching 90 degrees on a beautiful afternoon, and it's perfect for baseball. Some clouds floating by. And Mike Sorotka has already nailed down one win in the College World Series. And trying to get his team into the championship game tomorrow. Cradle leads it off. 263 here in Omaha, 5 out of 19. And it's 2-0.
The 49ers, a little bit like Oklahoma State. They don't mind taking a strike the first time around. But against Sorotka, that could be very difficult. He's a control pitcher.
Notice Cradle comes up here in a crouch and then scooches down even a little bit more on the high pitch. And he's worked it to 3-0.
Good job of ducking that pitch that time.
Yeah. Cradle has drawn 42 walks this year. None in the College World Series so far, but he just got his first. And has 35 stolen bases. That's #1 on the club. So Sorotka, first 4 pitches, balls, and Cradle goes down to first.
Mike, that's happened the majority of the time at this World Series. It seems like the pitchers take a little while to get used to the mound, invariably walking the first batter and then settling in.
The numbers on Cradle. He's only been caught 5 times, and here's a struggling hitter, Eric Martins. 1 hit in 14 trips here in Omaha. Guy who can advance runners, handles the bat well, has had a lot of RBIs batting second in the lineup. Runner goes, they've got him picked. 1 gone. Executed perfectly. Sometimes with a runner that's fast enough, even if he's picked, he can make it to second. But Kenny Jackson gunned him down.
Sorotka with a good move to first base. Cradle going all the way. Jackson stays under control. Good smooth toss. Johnson tags him out. And a throw on the inside. Good execution by the Tigers of LSU.
So Dave Snow trying to get something started for his ball club early. And he has his best base stealer picked off. And both of these coaches want to get that first run. They want to get on top and put some pressure on the other guys.
They feel that's going to be the key to this game. Putting the defense, putting the pressure on that defense, getting them back on their heels.
Sorotka misses. In his complete game victory, he didn't walk anybody and struck out 9. Just missed with that one, 2-2.
One of the keys to college baseball, especially for the pitchers early in the game, trying to determine what the strike zone is by the umpire. A good control pitcher like Sorotka will make the adjustments once he finds out whether the strike zone is inside or outside.
3-2, and Don January in his second year in the College World Series is the man behind the plate from Lynn, Massachusetts.
The senior veteran, Mike Sorotka.
Line to center field. The second base hit of the College World Series for Eric Martins.
Take a look at Sorotka's pitch. Martins, who swung the bat well but hasn't got any hits, shows a good tight swing. Good short stride. From our overhead camera, keeps his head on the ball, really accelerates through it, hits a good line drive to center.
Martins may not have as big a lead as he would like over at first after seeing his teammate being picked off. He has 13 steals this year. And this is Eddie Davis, who was the pinch hit hero. The game on the line. He's only had 2 at-bats, made the most of them. Pinch hit 2-run home run. Crushes it to left center field. It is gone.
Wow, what tremendous power by Davis again.
Holy cow, a frozen rope to left center. The outfielders barely moved.
That ball was gone when he hit it. The only question was it going to be high enough, or was it going to go through the wall? Watch this short stride a la Eric Davis, and he just puts the hammer on this ball. Watch the front leg, cocks the hips. Big stride, but he accelerates through the ball. That man's got power.
Here's a kid who had hit 4 home runs all year long. Got 1 at bat in the Eastern Regional. This was his 3rd at bat in the College World Series. He's hit 2 here. He has 5 for the season. He knows when to come through.
He loves that spotlight.
And Sorotka now has to work to Kevin Curtis, who has a pair of home runs in this College World Series and is hitting .375. Junior out of Upland, California, drafted by the Orioles in the 14th round. And it looks like Don January has a very tight strike zone today.
That's bad for a control pitcher like Sorotka, who likes to really use the corners. The hard throwers are the ones that usually like that, because they're working hard within the strike zone, where the crafty left-handers seem to just take slider down and in, tailing fastball away. So we talked before this game that we thought we were going to have some action early, but we never anticipated this.
What a move by Dave Snow. You take a kid who hits a pinch hit home run, you insert him as the 3-man in the lineup, and he rips one. Strike called 2-2 to Kevin Curtis.
From the minds of mere mortals comes genius. And he'll tell you, I just put him in there just to get a hit, and he hits a big home run, and he comes back and just smashes another one.
Curtis foul tips that one. Count rides at 2-2. The 49ers have already scored 2 in the top of the first here in the national semifinal game. Wichita State waiting in the wings for the national championship.
Sorotka still under control even after giving up a 2-run home run. He's a veteran.
Curtis, the leading average hitter on the team, bloops this one down the right field line, foul. All the crowd isn't here yet, but it was a sellout a long time ago. Missed downstairs, 3-2. Curtis likes to pull the ball and ought to be able to get something he can work with here.
Does have power the opposite way, as he displayed 2 days ago with a right field home run against the Tigers.
The wind is a factor again today, although it wasn't on the previous home run. It's blowing to left. Struck him out. Sorotka gets his first K after fanning 9 in his opening appearance.
Talk about Sorotka still being under control after a rough first inning, but comes back with a good hard fastball up against Curtis. Similar pitch hit for a home run the other day, but this time more velocity by Sorotka.
There's a bunt down the third baseline. Brian Smith trying to bunt his way on, and it rolls foul.
We're going to see more of that today. We're going to see more bunting. We'll see more hitting and running, more stealing. Both teams have the capability with some speed to do all those offensive things that you need to do to win.
Keep in mind there's that new sod right in front of the dirt portion at home plate that could take some momentum off the ball if it's bunted into that.
It could help the bunter, though.
Yes.
I think more than the defense.
Swung at a breaking pitch and didn't get it. So the 49ers go down, but they get 2 on the 2-run homer. LSU has now won 51 games as SEC champions under Skip Bertman in his 10th year. The leadoff man, redshirt freshman Jason Williams, he'll play third base. Armando Rios, the senior center fielder, he hits in the second spot. Shortstop Russ Johnson bats third in the order. He's a sophomore. Consensus All-American Todd Walker bats cleanup, 20 home runs. Harry Barrios with 17 homers hits fifth and plays right. Sixth in the order, junior Mike Neal. He'll DH today. The left fielder, senior MVP candidate Jim Greeley. He'll bat seventh. The number 8 hitter, a catcher, a junior, Adrian Antonini. And batting ninth and playing first, senior Kenny Jackson.
Pitching for the 49ers, Mike Fontana, 9-3, 2.88 earned run average. A great curveball. He's aggressive and works fast. Catching, Brian Watley. They call him the Wall. That's all that needs to be said. At first base, Brian Smith, 6'5", power hitter with good range at first. At second base, Eric Martins, the great pivot man. At shortstop, Rudy Rodriguez, the leader of the Dirtbags and a coach on the field. Tim Falskin plays third base. He's got an excellent arm to go along with his golden glove. In left field, there he is, powerized Eddie Davis. Kobe Cradle plays center field. He's known as the Spider-Man, a veteran who's been here before. And in right field, number 27, Kevin Curtis, covers a lot of ground with a great arm.
This is the third meeting of this College World Series between these two ball clubs. And it was Long Beach State which stayed alive the other night, coming from behind the first game. Sorotka with a beautiful performance, defeating Troy 7-1. And then Wednesday night, the heroics by Long Beach State to come from behind. And Sorotka was the losing pitcher in relief as they brought him in to put out the fire, and he couldn't do it. Eddie Davis has now touched him up twice for 2-run homers and only 3 at-bats.
It's bad news right there. Eddie Davis loosening up. I thought he was loose enough. He hit a ball to left center field with the wind blowing that way, but this was a wind cheater. It got no more than 12-15 feet off the ground and just, I think it broke a couple of bleacher seats out there.
It was smoked. So Mike Fontana out of Cupertino, California, is staked to a 2-0 first inning lead. Jason Williams, who has struggled, 1 hit in 12 at-bats so far. Hits it toward the hole. Rodriguez dives, throws from a knee, will never get it. Rodriguez pulled one of those the other night, but you don't get too many guys, even catchers, from your knees in left field.
You need somebody to fall down for a second first. Rodriguez goes into the grass, makes a great stop. Typical dirtbag stop right there. Just can't get enough on it. And safe at first, Jason Williams.
So a couple of guys so far who had struggled in the series have come up with hard hit base hits. And Armando Rios stands in. He's had a bunt base hit in this series. Right up the middle. Rodriguez unassisted at the bag and throws him out. So Rudy Rodriguez gets the double play. And quickly, 2 gone for LSU.
We're seeing something we haven't seen in a number of games, and it's guys going up to the plate swinging. Both teams realize they've got to put runs on the board early and put pressure on the opposing defense.
Skip Bertman has seen his team win 50 games this year. That's the 5th straight season. High to deep left field off the bat of Russ Johnson. Back on the track, Davis. Hit it a long way. And that is a 3-pitch inning for Mike Fontana. 2-0, end of 1. We'll go to the top of the second with Long Beach State leading LSU 2-0. That last inning, by the way, tied a College World Series record for all you diehard statistical freaks. 3 pitches, 3 outs, a record that will stand forever.
Even this guy's a little slow in math. I think we understand that one.
One interesting aspect of that, LSU had watched the top half of the first inning and seen how small the strike zone was. So maybe not the greatest idea to go up and first pitch swing 3 guys in a row.
But that's not them. That's not their philosophy. They're free swingers. They're going to go up and score runs. You don't win 50 games a year for 4 years in a row and not have great bats.
Jeff Leifer, lefty against lefty, and he has just been pounding it. 7 out of 14, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. And when you have the signs printed up, that's dedication. Yes, sir. Leifer, a freshman, a true freshman from Upland, California.
Good-looking family. I don't like those number 6s. There's something about it.
Especially the ones with power, huh? Ripped and just ate up Todd Walker at second base.
That sign works.
Smoked. And those plays, you either get it or you don't.
And you don't want to get in front of it. Let's take a look at this pitch. Out over the plate, and Leifer just nails it. You don't want to get in front of this ball. And Todd Walker gets his head out of the way and the glove out of the way, and it's a single.
This is Brian Watley, the catcher. Squares around to bunt. Nice sacrifice, and the first baseman Kenny Jackson will take care of it. So Watley doing his job, getting the runner over with 1 out.
Another example of Dave Snow going to all the signs today. He's given the steal sign, the sacrifice sign, and even mixed in a home run sign for Davis.
Here's a kid you can't help rooting for. Rudy Rodriguez, the senior from Sacramento, California. Struggling a bit here, 2 out of 12, 167. This guy's an emotional leader for this ball club. He's held them together defensively. He's come up with some big hits this year, 39 RBIs. And you'd like to see him do well in the series. Takes a called strike there. One of those kids who is no pro prospect whatsoever. Figures to be a coach and a good one.
Like we did a little Sports Center piece before the game on the sidelines, and all the 49er guys were around. A couple of guys had been at my camp, gosh, 10, 12 years ago. But Rudy Rodriguez stood out because he seemed to be the lead duck. Everybody followed him. Everybody was watching him to see how his composure was before this big game.
Swing and a miss there, 1 and 2.
Seemed like every time Rudy laughed, everybody laughed. A couple of the guys did imitations of me over there. It was a toss-up.
Were they good?
They were loose. Like I said in our pregame, they were loose. The guys, were having fun. Really focused on just having a good time with it.
1 and 2 to Rodriguez. Leifer down at second. 1 out. Top of the second. Just slapped at that one. Knocked it foul. Rodriguez with that very open stance and then dives toward the plate. Breaking pitch. To shallow left. Greeley. That's 2 gone. And it will leave it up to the number 9 hitter, Tim Falskin, the third baseman.
Ball still drifted well that time, Mike. Normally it would have been on the dirt, probably behind third. Drifted another 30, 40 feet to left field.
15 to 20 mile an hour wind blowing out to left right now. We've only had 1 game in this entire College World Series where the wind wasn't a factor, and that was yesterday. Still got 14 runs out of the ball game. Strike call by Don January. Sirotka had 0-1. The Long Beach State used the sacrifice to get Leifer over to second base and trying to pick him up. One and 1 to Falskin, who is out of Westlake Village, California. It's Kobe Cradle on deck. He's the top of the order, along with Eric Martins, the second baseman. Falskin's a kid who's been injured on and off his first 2 years in the program. Bounced to third. Jason Williams across. A runner stranded at second. No runs. End of 1.5. It's 2-0 49ers. Two nothing Long Beach State as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Mike Fontana on the hill, and we asked him about his pitching and his sports psychologist for the team.
Well, we've got a sports psychologist, Ken Ravizza, who helps us out a lot to committing to 1 pitch at a time and just focusing on what's going on 1 pitch at a time, not worrying about Saturday or not worrying about the 8th inning and the 1st inning, and just working on getting it done 1 step at a time.
Fontana going to the bottom of the second, and it's very helpful for some guys. Other guys can't, don't get any benefit out of it at all.
It's like the tennis player who plays the point and the player who plays the game, and then the player like Bjorn Borg who used to play the whole match in his mind. It just depends on the philosophy.
Well, one guy who did benefit from it, the man behind the plate, Brian Watley, he had struggled with his offense so much, so they gave him a trigger whenever he pulled the mask over his face. It was just think defense, and it seemed to work very well for him.
I thought that was a great idea because the mask symbolizes catching and defense. Great trigger.
Walker, the All-American, who has 1 hit in this College World Series, hitting .091, but that was a grand slam.
Has hit the ball decently. There's a dirtbag hat right there.
1 pitch at a time. That's the motto for Fontana. And Walker fouls that one off.
I think we all need little gimmicks, little triggers. Sure. Play little games with ourselves to get the most out of our performances. Whatever works, as they say.
That's right. Hit to deep center field, but Kobe Cradle looked like he had a beat on it, and it's gone. Cradle slowed up to play it off the fence, and Walker really got the benefit of the wind on that one. Looked like warning track at most, and it just carried and carried.
Great college hitters extending his arms a la Will Clark, and he got it up in the jet stream to left center. Great extension, and Cradle, who thinks he has a chance, now decides to try to play it off the wall, but that ball was hit about 400 feet.
2-1. LSU cuts into the margin, and it will bring up another power hitter, Harry Barrios, hitting .214 in the series. 1 extra base hit, a double. Strike called from Fontana, who has given up now 13 home runs this year.
But Skip Bertman said earlier in the day he needed home runs from his team. They were shut out the last time they played the 49ers, and he said, we're a power team. We're going to hit 1 or 2 a game. So I hope there are a few guys on, not solo home runs. But the way things have started for both teams, we're going to see some home runs today.
Berrios with that home run power has 17 this year, but when he's not hitting home runs, his base hits are normally stung right on the button. It's the ball very hard.
Strong legs. Compact hitter.
Nice pitch from Mike Fontana, sharply breaking over the outside part of the plate. Todd Walker, who came into this game hitting .386 on the season, had a shot at the SEC Triple Crown, but he'd need about 10 hits in his last 2 ball games to have any crack at all at getting back up over 400.
What was happening later in the season, he was getting pitched around, not pitched to. That could be frustrating. Then he started to swing at marginal pitches, and his average came down a little bit. But he redisciplined himself because he hits to all fields, a la the home run that time.
3-2. Berrios rips to third, knocked down by Falston. Throws a little high, but Brian Smith able to come down with it. Let's go to Larry Connolly. Larry?
Thanks, Mike. I'm sitting here with Ken Ravisa. He was the middle training instructor for this Long Beach State team. And, Ken, what do you say to a guy like Mike Fontana, who just got tagged with a home run, the imagery work that you've done with him?
Well, one of the things we do is we have them prepare themselves to deal with adversity. So when it happens, it's part of the game. One of the big mental skills in being mentally tough is be able to handle mistakes, let them go, regroup, get yourself together. So one of the things with Mike is to see that he's going back to his routine, taking a good breath, and just being in control of himself. You don't have control of a lot of stuff that goes on around you. You only have control of how you choose to respond to it. So that's the type of stuff we work with the guys on, getting them clicked in.
Mike Neal Rodriguez with another diving stop and another base hit. Larry, you ought to ask Ken if he's ever been mistaken for Father Guido Sarducci.
I've been asked, have you ever been mistaken for Father Guido Sarducci?
No. Not to my knowledge, anyway.
Those little things we try to pass along.
The Pope and the pizza.
Let's take a look at some of the imagery work that you were doing pregame with Fontana. We'll look at it just after this pitch.
This is Jim Greeley with an MVP series going.
Now, what are you telling him out there?
I believe that was with Brian Whaley, the catcher, beforehand, and we were just going over a few things. He was talking to me about some things, and we were just getting a nice clear image of that so that he could see and feel himself doing those things, executing those skills. A lot of distractions here to deal with, and sometimes you just got to get yourself together and focus on what needs to be attended to.
Okay, Mike.
All right, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Ken. 1-1 to Jim Greeley. What a series this kid is having. 7 out of 11, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, a double, a triple, and 2 walks.
And he looks dangerous at the plate.
Doesn't he?
Really. He's in a power stance here. He has just driven the ball all over the park and out of the ballpark.
Fontana with a runner on and 1 out. He's given up a home run already in this inning.
Fontana can't afford to make a mistake inside to Greeley. He's been on the ball that well.
Greeley has 4 of his 5 season home runs in postseason. 2 in the regionals, 2 in the College World Series. And the way he's swinging, it's amazing he hasn't hit 20 this year.
He likes the crowd. The bigger the crowd, the better he performs. As we watch from our center field camera, we'll see the catcher shift around. They're trying to pitch him outside.
Hit high in the air to left. Davis went back on it, now coming in. And will make the catch.
Greeley just missed that one.
Yep.
That was a major league fly ball to left field. And he just got him.
2 gone with a runner at first here in the bottom of the second. And Adrian Antonini, the catcher, stands in against Mike Fontana. Home run production has gone up from 1 a year ago to 6 this season. Better than average hitter.
One thing you don't want to do with Antonini, you don't want to walk him. Every time the opposition walks him, it's a big inning. We were kidding about this the other day. He's really a good-natured young man, but he says, yeah, I like to get hits, but when they walk me, we win games.
And invariably, the next guy hits a screamer somewhere.
That's right.
0-2 to Antonini with 2 gone. Neal down at first has very good speed. 16 out of 18 stolen bases this year. And the throw over from Fontana. It's about the only thing I can't talk to you about is stealing 16 out of 18 bases.
I stole 19 one year.
Out of how many?
A lot of back ends of double steals. I used to always hope Davy Lopes would get on second base and I would be on first.
And look for that sign.
Ooh. I got my eyes out. It's like gravy.
1-2 to Antonini. Struck him out. We have played 2 full. The 49ers lead the Tigers 2-1. We'll go to the top of the 3rd at the College World Series. Mike Patrick, Steve Garvey, Larry Conley with you from Omaha, Nebraska. We've already had a 2-run homer and a solo job accounting for all the runs here. And Skip Bertman working against Long Beach State. Each club hoping to advance to the national championship game tomorrow afternoon. Wichita State waiting for them. And with that bullpen of Dreifert and Bluma, Wichita State a formidable opponent if they get any starting pitching.
That's the whole key for Wichita State. That's what they had as a game plan last night against Oklahoma State. And they got 6 innings out of Brantley, and then the Terminators came in.
Aptly named, too.
Dreifert, we clocked him at 96 one time last night.
Kobe Cradle walked to lead off the ball game. Fouled that one straight back off of Mike Sorotka.
See, normally West Coast teams will play for that first run and take some pitches. But right from the beginning today, we saw that the 49ers philosophy was, let's go up swinging. Let's make things happen.
As a starter, Sorotka is undefeated in postseason play this year. He's 4-0. His only defeat came against Long Beach State the other night when he came on in relief.
We'll take a look at Sorotka. The reason why he throws strikes. Nice and compact. Good leg kick. See how he gathers in.
Cradle floats one to straightaway center. Armando Rios dropped the ball. Holy cow. And a good job by Cradle to keep running.
Example of that wind blowing to left. He drifts, tries to square up, and then takes his eye off it. It hits the palm of his glove and falls out, and he's disgusted. He can't believe he dropped it.
And I have no idea why he turned his head, what he could possibly be looking at. He hadn't reached the warning track.
Oh, it goes back to what you and I talked about throughout this week about getting another hand up there, and that makes you really focus on the glove.
Yep.
If you're one-handed, you have a tendency to kind of see it a foot or two away from the glove and then take your eyes off it. And that's exactly what happened.
An error all the way on the center fielder, and Eric Martins, who singled and scored on Davis's home run, has a chance to pick up Cradle. Tries to bunt him over and fouls it off. Dave Snow playing for the 1-run inning.
He'll take the home run, but he wants to manufacture runs. He feels this makes a good, disciplined team like his even better.
And it puts a lot of pressure on a defense that has had problems this year. That was the 119th error for LSU this season. That's the most they have ever had under Skip Bertman. Another bunt, foul. And as the coach told us, his team has made all the spectacular plays. It's the routine plays that they've kicked around, and that was certainly a routine fly ball to Armando Rios, even with the win.
And there are many more routine plays, obviously. So
Sure.
to get to this World Series, to get to this semifinal game, means he's had very good pitching and some great offense to go along with mediocre defense. But he says, I've got good defensive players. They just didn't execute the basics.
0-2 to Eric Martins. And Sorotka trying to keep Cradle close to second base. Sometimes an error like that is very difficult for a pitcher to overcome psychologically. He just gets so steamed by it. This one's fouled down the right field line, and nobody will get there as it falls between first base and the bullpen.
But we talked about Sorotka, his ability to blank out what has just happened and refocus on the batter situation. That's where experience comes in. And that's why you pitch a Mike Sorotka in this game. Skip Bertman talked about that. He's the veteran. He's got control. He's been here before.
29-9 in his career. Got him chasing a breaking ball, struck him out. Martins is gone. He's the first out of the inning. Eddie Davis is up next. Here's what he did in the first. Ouch. I mean, that thing was out of here. He was still 30 feet from the first baseline.
Well, very rarely can you track a ball on your screen that low. And we could see the ball almost half the time.
Davis, 2 home runs in 3 at-bats in the College World Series. That's not bad.
It's a pretty good slugging percentage.
Starting in left field today, his 28th start of the season. He's played in 20 other ball games. He's a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, which probably hurts LSU more than anything.
Wonder how he got away.
Drafted by the Dodgers, but not until the 20th round. And Sorotka steps off.
Good job by Davis that time of stepping out of the batter's box. The longer the pitcher waits, the tighter you get at the plate.
Both of his homers have come off of Mike Sorotka, and they came in consecutive at-bats. In the 9th inning as a pinch hitter, the first inning of this game. I want to bet Sorotka's not going to get anything over the plate this time.
Well, he's gonna really work the corners. He's got first base open.
Here's the throwback, and Cradle dives in there. Got away, but backed up by Walker. Of course, there are some guys you just own.
Yeah. And some guys own you.
Yeah.
It's the balance of life in the game.
Who was the one guy you wanted to hit against the most?
Oh, gosh.
There were so many.
Well, some left to any left-hander. I always felt I could hit any left-hander. And there were some great ones I faced. I was thinking about Steve Carlton. Candelaria was tough. Gosh, there were some good ones.
Sorotka working to Davis, 1-1. And really concentrating on Kobe Cradle.
See, what you can do now is you can waste a whole lot of time by doing this, but you still got to throw the ball to home plate. So I don't think Cradle's going to try to steal third. So he's got to concentrate on getting Davis out.
It'd be amazing to see him run with Davis up there, considering his success with Sorotka.
Right. This is not a short, compact swing. Lifts that leg up and really gets a great arc in that. He just twists himself up, and he's got to uncoil coming back.
Not going to get cheated, is he?
No, he's going to take 3 good swings every time up.
Just missed the corner. And those are pitches Sorotka needs to get.
Those are the pitches that Bertman wants him to get, too. Skip Bertman very conscious of the strike zone of the umpire. He feels he needs to work with his pitchers when they're not getting the strikes they think they should get.
And once again, time called.
See, Bertman's whole role now is a psychologist for his Tigers team. He wants to keep him in the game, thinking properly.
Struck him out. So this time Davis doesn't get around on Sorotka, and there's 2 gone.
Well, Sorotka's been mixing his pitches up to find the spot where he can get them, and that's a good spot right there. Up and inside. Watch how he cranks up. A little tougher to get to that pitch that's high relative to the ball that's low. Davis, an excellent waist down type of hitter, but that ball was up a little bit.
4 strikeouts for Mike Sorotka to go with 1 walk. He's been touched for 3 hits in 2 2/3 inning. Kevin Curtis will come up next, and Skip Bertman has got to talk to Sorotka.
Some head coaches are hitting coaches, others are pitching coaches, and Skip Bertman is a pitching coach. Does a great job with his pitchers, developed a number of professional pitchers.
Of course, he had Ben McDonald a couple of years back.
It's a good example.
Yes. Immediately went up with the Orioles. Curtis was a strikeout victim his first time up. Strike call. Cradle still down at second now with 2 outs. Crowd, much like last night, just sitting there waiting for something to happen. You see Sorotka staring in and holding that finish, waiting for the umpire to make the call.
He wants some of these pitches.
Curtis also has had great success against Sorotka. He had the game-winning homer Wednesday night after Davis had the 2-run pinch hit home. Checked his swing on that. The appeal to first, no. 2-1. Curtis has the distinction of transferring from Hawaii. That is Kobe Cradle down at second base. Meant to ask him all week long why he would transfer from Hawaii. Long Beach is wonderful.
Island favorite. Caught up with him.
Yeah. Inside. 3-1.
A couple of good strikeouts for Sorotka this inning. Starting to really adjust to the mound, adjust to the strike zone. Plate umpire Don January.
Foul tipped, and Antonini couldn't hold it.
'49ers players swinging as if the wind was blowing out to left field. You notice everybody, the right-handers, are trying to pull that ball, trying to get it up in the wind. Problem is the heads are coming out a little bit, and that makes you an arm swinger, and if the ball's on the outside, it's a good pitch.
Hit back up the middle and through. Russ Johnson. Cradle will score. The routine play for the shortstop, Russ Johnson, and just straight through into center field. Well, that's 2 huge errors.
Curtis hangs in and now hits a hard shot. Right through, never touched it. Expected the hop, the ball stayed down, and Russ Johnson gets the error.
Runner goes. And he's in there. Kevin Curtis steals his 5th base of the season, and he got a huge jump on Sorotka. Sorotka can sue for non-support in this inning. 2 errors, 1 on a routine ground ball, 1 on a routine fly ball.
Dave Snow knows that right after an error like that, the pitcher loses the concentration. He's still concerned with an error being made. Good time to run. Good timing that time, even against a great arm like Antonini.
Brian Smith, Sorotka just misses outside again.
In an inning where Sorotka's pitched well, still he's had a tough inning. He's given up a run.
This one hit to Johnson again. Takes the tough hop this time and throws him out. But the two errors did their damage. A run scores, and it's 3-1 Long Beach State. Bottom of the third at the College World Series. Long Beach State with a run in the top of the third gets the 2-run margin back. And Skip Bertman is talking to his ball club. Here's how they have done this year. 51, their 4th straight SEC title, 5th straight 50-plus win title or season, and 6 College World Series trips in the last 8 years. That is the best record in the country. 6 of the last 8 seasons he's been here. Won it, of course, a couple of years ago. And right now fighting to get back to the championship game, but his defense has let him down so far with 2 errors that allowed that run. Make it 3-1. Kenny Jackson will lead it off here in the third, and then we'll go back to the top of the LSU order. Jackson with a couple of base hits in the series and 12 trips.
We talked about Kenny Jackson being the quintessential college player. He's not going to be a professional player, just loves the game, gives 100% to Skip Bertman and the Tigers. Mechanical engineering major. He's going to put in 6 years at LSU, and then he's going to be an excellent businessman.
I don't know about you, I probably can't spell some of the courses he's taking. That one's right in there. 2-1.
We'll take a look at Fontana. As you can see, nice controlled delivery. Squares up nicely when he comes to home plate.
Got that one on the corner too. 2-2. Fontana trying to get his 10th and most important victory of the season. This one's popped up on the infield. Rodriguez. 1 gone.
Fontana has thrown 2 shutouts this season, go along with 5 complete games, 15 starts. Brought his ERA under 3 with that great outing just a couple of days ago.
This is Jason Williams, who was 1 for 1. Infield hit to Rodriguez in the hole first time up.
We'll take a look at Mike Fontana, how he delivers to home plate. Nice and smooth, good high leg kick. Good stride. See how he keeps that elbow up? That allows him to keep the ball down and work the ball within the strike zone. Good mechanics.
It's a straightaway center. Cradle in a couple of steps. 2 gone. Got the rally caps out. When you're playing for a spot in the national championship, it's never too early.
You break them out early and you vary them according to what's happening.
Rios hit into a double play first time up that broke up a first inning rally.
Armando wants to atone for his error in the last inning that made it 3-1 49ers.
Strike called. One of the few players that was around in '91 when LSU won the national championship and had a 2-run homer against Wichita State that led to that title. Does have some power. He's hit 9 homers this year. Only 5'9", 158, so he really generates some bat speed.
Fontana threw perfectly to the mitt that time. Brian Watley set up inside. Fontana hit it with a nice tight slider. Just missed.
2-1. Now 3-1. Strike 2.
Mike Fontana reminds me a little bit of Lamar Hoyt, who had some great years for the White Sox. Just a couple of good ones with the Padres, but he worked quickly, really hit the spots, mixed his speeds up. Great to work behind.
Hit down to second base, scooped nicely by Martins. 49ers are gone. It's still 3-1. I'm Jim Kelly at the Lock Lloyd Country Club just outside Kansas City, where Kermit Zarley, George Archer, and Dave Stockton are all tied for the lead. The defending champion Gibby Gilbert trails by just 1. Join us tomorrow for second round live coverage at 2:30 Eastern Time. Top of the 4th, Long Beach State leads LSU by 2. The 49ers is the official Long Beach State nickname. They call themselves the Dirtbags. We asked Rudy Rodriguez, what is it?
It's a man. He's not the most excellent player on the team, and he's not the worst player on the team. It's a person who you get who's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 5. He's a guy that goes out, puts his nose in the dirt, does what you tell him to do. From a coach's perspective, you do what the coach tells you to do. You don't try any harder. You don't go outside of your capability. You stay inside yourself. You just go out every single day.
Pretty good description, and a pretty good description of this ball club.
And as he finished, you go out every single day and do the job, and your team wins. And then one day you're at Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha, Nebraska, in the College World Series. We talked about sometimes it's better to have a team with 15% less ability who plays together than a team of great talent who are individuals.
And it's gotten them this far. Here is Leifer, who has the mental attitude, but the talent on top of it. 353 hitter for the season in the College World Series. He's hitting over 500.
Well, he's a semi-dirtbag right here. This young man has talent.
Hasn't been around long enough to get the hat that dirty. But Rodriguez has.
He's an official. There's Rudy Rodriguez, the official dirtbag right there.
And they're all smiles right now with a 3-1 lead. Strike called as Soroka got one over, looked a little below the knees.
Well, the strike zone always starts to widen a little bit after the 3rd inning. It starts pretty regular, but then it starts to expand.
And Leifer couldn't stop the swing there. 2-2. He was a 6th-round pick of the Cleveland Indians coming out of high school. And Don January, the veteran umpire, who was a probation officer in the Massachusetts District Court in Lynn, Massachusetts. So he's used to keeping an eye on things.
I want to be nice to him, just in case.
Yeah.
See, it's good for a position player, I think, to go to college, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Walked him. Soroka gives up his 2nd walk. And the Dirtbags were not expected to do a whole lot, but they have 46-18. Great record in the Big West. They won their 2nd consecutive league championship, and they've been hot lately after everybody came together. 34-7 in their last 41, and did very well against ranked teams this year. And are 2-1 against ranked teams here in the College World Series, trying to make it 3-1 and get into the championship. Watley sacrificed his first time up and trying to do it again.
Mike, one addendum to your comments about the 49ers. And probably the most important one is they lost 8 players to the pro ranks last year.
Dave Snow went out to the junior colleges. Another good bunt, pushed it past Soroka, has trouble with it. He won't get anybody. Nice bunt by Brian Watley.
49ers doing everything they can to position themselves to score runs. This is a sacrifice, and you want to get it right down the line or by the pitcher. Now Soroka comes in, kicks it, jumps on it, has no play, and he's a good defensive pitcher, and he's made a couple of errors this World Series.
Had one on a throwing error. That time he just kicked the sacrifice around, so it's a sacrifice and an error. That's 121, which is 3 more than an LSU team under Skip Bertman has ever committed.
And it's not going to get easier because this is going to be another sacrifice situation, putting more pressure on the defense. And as we've seen in this World Series, to me, 2 things have been the deciding factors: walks and errors.
And once again, another routine play. Nothing hard. They dropped a fly ball, a ground ball, and a sacrifice bunt. And Rodriguez is squared around to do it again. That one's foul. No play. Don January right on top of the call. Rodriguez is 0 for 1. Flew to left and only has 2 hits and 13 trips. Dave Snow said this young man will be a terrific coach one day. Wants to coach too.
Mike, have you noticed one thing about the bunters in this series? They try to be too fine getting the ball down. Wadley did a good job of getting it in play. He had the sacrifice, and the error compounded it. Now runners are first and second. Now Rudy Rodriguez has to get the ball down, get it to the third baseman.
And he does.
Good bunt.
Sorotka got it, but the runners advance. Rodriguez, excellent sacrifice. Just what a dirtbag is supposed to do. Play within your limitations and do what the coach tells you.
Do all the little things well. Rudy Rodriguez with an excellent bunt down the third base line. See how he's squared up nicely? Drops it down. He gives with the bat, deadening the ball. Now Sorotka comes over and makes a nice, easy throw to first base. Good defensive play that time by Sorotka. Barely got him.
And now the infield will come in to Tim Falskin, who only has 27 RBIs all season long. And is 0 for 1, grounded to third his first time up. Thought there was something happening, so they go with a pitch out.
Now Skip Bertman knows that if you can sacrifice and if you can bunt and do all those things, that squeeze play is next. Watch the catcher. He's going to set up outside. Wants him to throw him outside. Now Falskin has to think up the middle the other way. Wants the sacrifice fly at least.
Boy, nice block by Antonini. Saved a run with that one. And it's 2-0. If Falskin can get on Kobe Cradle, the leadoff man would come up if he draws a walk with the bases loaded. You like the idea. You're pitching against the number 9 man. I mean, you want to get him and not walk him to set up the double play, don't you?
Oh, definitely. You want to get him out. You don't want to put more runners on base.
Foul off the right side, back in the stands.
Tim Falskin thinking the other way that time. Good intentions. Now there's a dirtbag look right there. Focused, looking at Dave Snow. Eye black a little bit low today.
They love the name dirtbags.
Well, it's a rallying phrase. Gets everybody together.
Got him swinging on the inside pitch. 2-2.
A lot of teams do it. You don't hear it very often. Obviously, it's magnified here at the College World Series, but a lot of teams have come up with nicknames for individuals so that the fellow feels more a part of the team, or nicknames for the team like that.
Two and two. Runners at second and third. One gone here in the Long Beach State fourth. Strike 3 call. Sorotka's come up with some quality pitches today in some tough situations.
We talked about the strike zone widening just a little bit, but that's just enough for Sorotka. And that catches the black on the outside. Antonini frames it nicely. Good pitch, good catch.
And now the left-hander Kobe Cradle comes up. He is 0 for 1. Reached on an error and walked. He hit the fly ball to left center that Rios dropped.
Mike, that was a big play and a big pitch that time, striking out Falskin. So if he puts it in play, they've got a good chance of getting at least one run in.
Now there's 2 outs and the infield can go back. The third baseman, Jason Williams, stays in close, respecting Cradle's speed and his ability to bunt. Leifer down at third, Watley the catcher at second. Strike call, taking all the way on 2-0.
Now I would even consider drag bunting now with Fayette Cradle speed, left-handed, pitcher falling off to third base.
Another good stop by Antonini.
So you got the right side of the infield way back.
Yep.
When you're being so aggressive, even with one strike, you could try that.
Cradle hitting .250 in the College World Series. He's 5 for 20 so far. Big man for Sirotka to get here, already down 3-1. And he walks it. So they're loaded for Eric Martinson. Let's check in with Larry Conley. Larry?
Mike, I want to show you back here. This is authentic Rosenblatt Stadium dirt. In 1992, when they were going through a renovation, they tore up the infield, and they sold this dirt to people who would come to the games. Well, the grounds crew here at Rosenblatt thought it would be a nice gift if they packaged some of them and gave them to Long Beach State. Guess what? They taped them up on the wall. They're in there by the lineup cards.
So, in other words, the dirt bags have dirt bags.
You got it.
Thank you, Larry. Martins to third, the easy force. Jason Williams, and they're out of the inning. Strand 3, and we'll go to the bottom of the fourth, 3-1. Long Beach State leading at 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. And we'll keep that in mind, the top of the fourth. What a big inning that could have been, getting out of that bases loaded jam for LSU if they can come back.
And we've talked about the inability most of this World Series to put the other team away. Great comebacks by Oklahoma State, by Long Beach State. Very important if you've got a good man on the mound who's pitching a good game and you get opportunities, you got to keep adding those runs.
LSU has committed 3 errors in this ball game. 2 of them led to 1 run. The other one ended up not hurting Sirotka. You see the wind. It will be a factor again today. 15 to 20 miles an hour to third base or to the left field side. Russ Johnson leads it off in the Tigers' half of the fourth inning. He's now 5 for 13 in the College World Series. Flied to deep left in the first inning, a ball that Davis had a lot of trouble with on the warning track. And there it is, dirt bags. Like you said earlier, whatever works.
I just want to ask you one question. How many of those dirt bags do you think they sold here at Rosenblatt Stadium? I think it was a big selling item.
When the Long Beach State people got into town, it was.
That's right. They probably have sold more of those in the last week than they did through seasons of sales.
The entire inventory.
That's right.
Johnson from Denham Springs, Louisiana. Freshman All-American a year ago. As a sophomore, came in hitting .356 on the season to this ball game. Another fine middle infielder for LSU. And that one hippity-hopped up there and whacked Watley right in the mask. Two and one to Johnson.
Watley made one of the great saves of the World Series a couple of games ago with his mask.
Yes.
Knocked the ball down, threw a runner out of third.
Strike called, 2-2. The dangerous part of the order, Walker and Barrios coming up next.
Tigers need to get something going.
Strike 3 call. Pretty good pitch to take.
Mike Fontana continuing to pitch a very good game. There's a tight slider on the black. Strike 3, you're out of it.
Walker, first time up, hit his second home run of the College World Series and only his second base hit. He is 2 for 12. He'll be 3 for 13 right now. Kevin Curtis comes up and holds him to a single. Pretty stroke, isn't it?
Very much so. He's a rhythm hitter. He really gets his timing going. See how he cranks up, good stride, cocks the hip, little top spin on this ball, but just a nice fluid swing.
The tying run comes to the plate in the person of Harry Berrios. He's 0 for 1, and we've got some rain here, which was not in the forecast at all. Nebraska, like much of the rest of the country, everywhere where I've been, they say if you don't like the weather, wait a couple hours, it'll change.
Anytime you have wind, it can get here in a hurry. It was raining in Lincoln, which is about an hour's drive from here. And it's come our way.
Berrios chops it to third. Falston has only one play over at first. Brian Smith, the first baseman, nearly got paved by Berrios.
Now Brian Smith's 6'6", and Berrios may have ran into him and bounced off about 15 feet. That's scary. You're coming down the line now. All of a sudden, the guy 6'6" is standing on the bag.
You'd have hit him, wouldn't you?
I would have nicked him.
One gone, a runner at second for Mike Neal, the DH. 1 for 1. Excuse me, 2 out, a runner at second. Neal beat out an infield hit to Rodriguez, his first trip up.
Neal's another good hitter.
High in the air to deep left center field. Cradle going back. Davis going back. And Kobe Cradle cut in front of Davis at the last second. Anything to left center is an adventure out there today. A long fly ball, the final out, and a little snow cone action. It's still 3-1. We've played 4 innings here at the College World Series in the national semifinal that will send either Long Beach State or LSU to the national championship game against the Shockers of Wichita State. And as we go to the Long Beach State 5th, Eric Martins leads it off. Martins is 1 for 2, or Eddie Davis, excuse me. Chopped wide of third. Williams, 1 gone quickly. Davis doesn't waste any time getting his hacks up there.
I'm quite sure also in watching Eddie Davis swing that Eric Davis is his idol because he holds his hands just like him and really attacks the ball the same way. Pretty good results.
Pretty good model. Yeah. Kevin Curtis, who was 0 for 2, struck out swinging and reached on an error. 6 for 18 in the College World Series, 333 here in Omaha. A couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. Both pitchers seem to have settled down after struggling early a little bit. This one's hit hard in the air to right. Berrios, and the wind will hold that one up as he gets to within 1 step of the track. And Curtis makes it 2 quick outs.
And you're right, Mike. The only thing that held that up was the wind. It took a 10-15 mile an hour wind to take that ball and just knock it down because he's got great power the opposite way.
Now Brian Smith, the big first baseman, who is 0 for 2. Started 21 games this year for Dave Snow's ball club. For as big as he is, only 2 home runs on the season. This one's hit to the gap in right center field. Onto the track, and Smith easily into second base with a double. There's some good opposite field power. Stung it.
Brian Smith at 6'5" extends those big arms and really drives it to the gap in right center. The big guys have sweeping swings, and if you get the ball out over the plate, they've got a good chance of really driving.
Sirotka now has to face Leifer with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Leifer 1 for 1, single and a walk. This one chopped to second. Walker calls off the first baseman and flips it to him. So runner stranded at second. We still have a 3-1 score here at the College World Series.
I went up to Chris Sable and I said, Sage, what does this guy throw? And he didn't hear me. And I looked at him again. I said, Sage, what does this guy throw? And he turned at me and he said, just go hit the freaking ball. You know, and he scared me again. So, you know, it was a tough time for me that particular World Series, but it was definitely a great experience.
And everybody who's been here seems to have wonderful memories of competing here in the College World Series and wonderful memories of Omaha, too. And it's been a delight again for us this year to be here.
And for most of these young men, this will be a lifetime of memories. A lot of them won't go on to professional ranks, and this will be the highlight of their careers. They'll remember every day and each game. They'll be able to tell their sons who they played against. That star in the major leagues who their son's asking to sign the baseball card.
Struck him out 3 times.
Easy. 9 pitches. I whiffed him, son.
Well, here's the guy who has my vote so far for the most valuable player in this series. Jim Greeley has raised his batting average 29 points coming into this game. Just during the College World Series. He's been on a tear. Foul down the right field line.
Where's that number 44, like a big first baseman I used to play against, Willie McCovey, who could go on some great tears. He's in his zone, as they say.
Stretch always seemed to be in the zone.
Yep.
Too low, 1-1.
They're trying to get the ball on the outside part of the plate against Greeley. Mixing up the speeds.
Greeley's numbers would be a lot better this year, except he was sidelined for nearly a month with a bad ankle.
Just running around second base in a game. Twisted it.
And there's always somebody that steps up. It's been Greeley for LSU. Strike called on the inside corner. 2-2. Fontana has given up 4 hits, but only the 1 run on the homer. Breaking ball hit foul.
It's a little bit like that heavyweight fight where the guys respect each other and they're feeling each other out through the first half of this game.
Greeley reached for that one and slapped it to Rodriguez at short. 1 gone. Bottom third of the order scheduled in this inning for LSU. Antonini is coming up with Kenny Jackson on deck. And Antonini struck out swinging in the second inning. Big catcher from Miami, Florida, 6'3", 215. Hits it high in the air to left, and Eddie Davis is really having a lot of trouble out there and flags that one down. Davis covered a lot of ground on that, backward, forward, sideways.
Eddie's got a flare out there in left field. It's a tough field to play here at the College World Series, especially when the wind's blowing. It's gone down just a little bit now with the mist that's here.
There was a guy for the old Washington Senators by the name of Jim Lemon, and they used to say he would surround fly balls. That's what Davis did with that one.
That's right.
Eric Martins throws out Kenny Jackson, and quickly LSU gone in the 5th. Still 3-1. Long Beach State. Top of the 6th, College World Series. Long Beach State leading LSU 3-1. 3 teams left in this College World Series. 1, 2, and 3 are already gone. That's not unusual since they went to the 2-bracket format since 1988. Only the 4th and 7th seeds have won the College World Series. And Wichita State number 7, they are already in the championship game, and it's certain that a 1, 2, and 3 won't win. Long Beach State 4th this year. Brian Watley will lead it off. He sacrificed twice. And now comes up with nobody on. It has become a pitcher's ball game, which is what most people predicted it would be, but it didn't start out that way. All the runs scored early. Sorotka misses again with a breaking ball, and it's 2-0 to Watley. Switch hitter who is a little better left-handed, but facing Sorotka, he'll bat from the right side. Fontana has thrown only 54 pitches through this period. Sorotka now 86.
And this game mirrors Fontana's last game, in which he really got ahead of the hitters, worked at a good pace. Defense played well behind him.
And as you pointed out earlier, LSU is a free swinging club.
That's right.
High in the air to right. Here comes Barrios, still coming, and the wind knocked it down. They can't get to it. Would have been a routine fly ball to right field, but the wind going to left knocked it down.
And without a lot of speed on their defense, LSU just can't get to this ball. It's in a perfect spot. Couldn't have thrown it out there any better.
So we go back to the top of the order with a runner on and nobody out for the 49ers in the top of the 6th, and Rudy Rodriguez. Jason Williams already cheating in at third for the bunt. Instead, they'll throw over to first. Rodriguez has already sacrificed once and flew to left. Long Beach State so far has done all the little things to give them the lead in this ball game. Sorotka not concerned about Watley, the catcher, stealing. He's only stolen twice in 6 attempts, but would like to keep him a little closer on the sacrifice so they might get the force. Rodriguez chops it, no play at second. Sorotka will go to first. So it works as a sacrifice.
No run and hit.
Let's go to Larry Connolly. Larry?
Thanks, Mike. I'm sitting here with Brent Kemnitz, who's the pitching coach for Wichita State. And Brent, any strategies or trends you've picked up so far from this game, particularly since you're going to play one of these clubs tomorrow?
Well, to be honest with you, we're out here just kind of enjoying the game. We've always tried to play to our strengths as opposed to getting too wrapped up in what other people are doing. So we're going to just try to do what we do and hope that works.
You got to be awfully pleased with the shape your pitching staff is in right now, particularly having those 2 big guys in the bullpen.
Well, I tell you what, Mike Brantley, I don't think has gotten the credit he's really deserved here. He's gotten us deep into the game. Outstanding game again last night. We used Dreifert and Bluma, but hopefully they'll both be fresh for us to come if we need them tomorrow.
Did you know when you won it, you were the 7th seed, and you're the 7th seed again?
We've been the underdog all year, so we like that. So whoever wins this one, we're still going to be the underdog, so we'll try to use that to our advantage again.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Mike?
All right, thank you, Larry. And they sure don't look like the underdog.
Great bunt.
A nice bunt. They're going to have to let it roll.
Oh.
Good decision by Jason Williams. He didn't have a prayer to throw him out.
Great surprise bunt by Tim Falskin.
And Williams had to use all 90 feet to get it to go foul, too.
With one out, Falskin drops it down the third base line, and it just has a little bit of a hook to it. Once it gets to the dirt, it turns over and goes foul. Nice try, though, Tim.
Long Beach State has had their opportunities, but they are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and that's where Watley is right now with 1 gone. And 0-1 to Falskin, who was only 2 for 12 in the series. Squared around to bunt again.
I can't figure that one out.
Well, you're certainly not going to see it in the major leagues, but I think in college baseball sometimes you'd rather just have the guy go ahead and bunt him over, even with the second out. Make them make a play.
The way the defenses have played.
Yeah.
Why not just get him at third? There are 6 more ways you can score from third.
And LSU already has 3 errors.
Yeah. And they're thinking about that. They realize that, too. I'm not sure anybody on that infield really wants the ball hit to them in a crucial situation.
You will see a lot of things in college baseball that you won't see anywhere else, like the trick plays that they drill on.
Had a big one the other night.
Sure did. Trying to force a balk with the bases loaded and got the call. Goes after the low pitch and taps it foul. 1-2 to Falska. Not your typical third baseman. 5'9", 185. About what that lady may grow up to be if she's a player. Oh, 185 maybe.
115 maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Spotted her 70 pounds there. Falskin hits it up the middle. Johnson, second out of the inning. Watley moves to third with 2 gone. And Kobe Cradle, who has walked twice and reached on an error. They are now 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And that may come back to haunt Dave Snow.
Goes back to putting a team away. 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third for the 49ers. And numerous opportunities into this 6th inning.
And really the only team we've seen do that was Wichita State last night when they qualified for the national championship game. Cradle screams one to right field. Barrios on the track. Kobe Cradle tried to break that streak but couldn't. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 2-run ball game. Sellout crowd here at the College World Series as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. LSU coming up trailing Long Beach State 3-1. Gotten 4 hits, but the only run scored on a solo home run. And Mike Fontana has been in command since then. But LSU, like many of the teams here this year, has been the author of many dramatic comebacks in late innings. 20 of their runs out of the 28 have come in the last 4 innings. And that's what we're down to.
They're going to have to do one thing. They're going to have to stop thinking about pulling that ball into the left field bleachers and start hitting the other way and up the middle, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Too many fly balls and pop-ups to the left side.
Jason Williams, 1 for 2, will lead it off against Fontana.
And there's a good indication. Fontana slider away. He's going to do that against the right-handed hitters time and time again until you make them come back inside.
Fly ball to right. Kevin Curtis drifting in. 1 gone. Anything to right is going to be knocked down by that wind that's blowing out the left 15-20 miles an hour. Seen a couple of well-hit balls hit that way that just stayed in. Part of the Long Beach contingent enjoying the performance so far. Mike Fontana, the junior from Cupertino, California, trying to get them to a national championship spot.
If he doesn't watch out, he's going to make this all-tournament team as one of the 2 pitchers. What I like about him, Mike, is he keeps moving. You know, he's aggressive out there. He has a good pace. It's great for your defensive players.
Breaking ball just missed.
Anytime a guy walks around the mound, goes to the rosin bag, adjusts his hat, fools around, your defense just lays back, gets back on his heels.
And Fontana hasn't hurt himself with walks today either. Just as we say that, he goes to 3-0 in Rio. The kiss of death. Fontana in 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Poured that one right in there. Rios, a good bunter, and that's respected by Falskin at third. Even with the bag, and he'll creep in a little closer. And Rios, 6 steps down the line, has to come back on the late strike call from Don January.
And don't you know, umpire Don January just hates that. And this pitch right here, fastball inside, starts the tail, looks like it's low and maybe inside. Could have caught the black, but that ball was definitely low.
So Rios now has the count at 3-2 and had the big grin on his face coming back.
He better be swinging.
He is, and he rips it to center. Well, Rios knew it too. After you've done that to an umpire, the next one is the strike, isn't it?
The strike zone widens. It gets much more vertical.
Goes from your plate to the dugout.
Ooh. Rios does a good job of staying back this time, hitting his fastball. Goes down after it, keeps the head and eyes in. Good job of hitting.
Russ Johnson stands in 0 for 2. A runner at first, 1 gone, bottom of the 6th, and the LSU fans calling for the rally. Johnson with 8 home runs this year. He's got the power. Elijah Davis in deep left first inning. Excuse me, Steve.
2 things are important, Mike. You just mentioned the fans. LSU has a large contingent of very, very aggressive fans, so they want to get the fans into it also. And don't forget, this is a team that has a lot of power. One swing can get them back in this game.
Good block by Watley to save a wild pitch. And the All-American Todd Walker waits on deck with Harry Barrios. The power in this order. Those are the guys who can really launch it. Is back. 20 stolen bases this year for the senior center fielder, and Fontana being very mindful of him. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Another nice pitch from Fontana.
And that's not exactly the control that Skip Bertman would like from one of his top hitters. Johnson really going around. When you do that, your head pulls out and your shoulder, you lose your balance. Got to be disciplined in this situation.
One and one, a runner at first, 1 gone in the 6th, and another throw over.
The way the Tigers have been swinging at the ball, I might even think about hitting and running right now to get them, especially Johnson, thinking about hitting the ball the other way, making contact. That have taken too big a swing.
Another throw over. I think Fontana has the same idea. He'd like to keep Rios close at first.
Rios looking a little skitterish over there, like he wants to run. Whether he will or not remains to be seen.
First baseman Brian Smith diving for it, got a piece. Rios on his way to third, and he'll get in there easily.
That's a big break for the Tigers. That ball was hit off the end of Russ Johnson's bat with a lot of spin on it.
And it looked like it fooled Smith, didn't it?
And it did, and Brian Smith should have handled it. It was right there in front of him. He may have overdove on the ball. The ball may have come back at him, but that ball confused Smith. Big break.
First at bat for Todd Walker. Goes the other way. Got one up in the jet stream here at Rosenblatt, and this baby just carried and carried and carried. And he is 2 for 2 his last time up. Singled sharply to right and showed the good stroke. But now runners at first and third with 1 out, and the best hitter that LSU has to offer. Everybody gathered around Fontana. that was really the first time that Long Beach State has made a mistake today or not come up with the play you would think they would.
Done a good solid job behind the guy. And Mike Fontana has worked very well. Everybody's been on their toes, but that ball had a lot of spin. It bit, just kicked right on by him.
Take a look at Brian Smith and what he did on this play.
Let's take a look at Johnson. Hits it off the end. It hits. He goes to get in front. Then he goes to backhand, and then it just kicks on by him.
Runner at first, Johnson. Armando Rios over at third with 1 out. LSU down by 2. Todd Walker is up. And I'm sure the discussion was, how are we going to pitch to this kid?
Carefully.
Yeah.
The problem last time on the home run was that they set up inside, but they didn't get it far enough inside. And he just, with that quick bat, just got the head on it and really extended the ball to left center 400 feet from home plate.
Skip Bertman said they've left his batting stroke alone, and why not? This thing is creamed, but hooks foul. I wouldn't mess with that stroke either.
Beautiful stroke, but what you have to do is you have to start mixing speeds up a little bit. Watch Walker. Great extension. He's been watching Will a little bit from time to time. He's got the extension down.
Skip Bertman saying, don't. Just give him that pitch one more time, would you? Base hit. LSU will get his second run of the ball game. 3-2. Walker is 3 for 3. The LSU bats coming alive.
There's the Cajun Rooters.
Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second for Berrios. Grounded to Falskin twice. Walker, who had struggled in the College World Series, 3 for 3 this afternoon. Berrios now hitting under 200 for the series. He's had a tough time. Popped up. Might be a play for Watley. And he dropped it. Brian Watley had about another 1.5 feet to the railing, and he just saw it pop out of the big catcher's glove. So 2 mistakes in this inning have really hurt Long Beach State.
Watley, who's an excellent defensive catcher, knows the ball's probably going to come back. He's coming right into your living room, and oh, he had to be concerned with the railing. He was waiting for that railing to come up and hit the gloves and try to keep his eye on the ball.
And the ball dropped right in the middle of the glove, so a new life for Berrios. One and one. Russ Johnson down at second. The All-American Todd Walker at first. LSU has closed to within a run here in the bottom of the 6th. And Fontana has been victimized this inning. It's an error on Watley. Their first of the ball game, although you could have given one to Brian Smith down at first base for not coming up with that ball.
He would have got more of a glove on it. They would have given him an error.
Nice breaking ball, just foul tipped into the glove of Watley. Rally caps have been on since the 3rd.
Took him a while to get working.
Runners at first and second. 1 out here in the LSU 6th. 1 and 2 to Harry Berrios. Nice blocked by Watley. Well, Berrios looks bigger than 5'11", 200. That's what he's listed at on the roster. And Watley steps out and takes a nice deep breath.
Berrios, Mike, is very muscular, big, strong legs. He's really been a clutch hitter for this Tiger team the last month, especially in the regionals.
Home plate umpire Don January going out to correct the scoreboard.
Berrios with good power.
And they chase Johnson back into second base. If you're wondering why they try to keep that runner close and keep paying attention to him, one step less might mean a play at the plate. Chopped foul outside of third. LSU fans starting chanting again. And yes, the wind's still a factor.
Catcher sets up outside.
And Fontana again turns to second base.
Most of the time with hitters who have open stances, a pitcher will try to work the hitter on the outside part of the plate. Very difficult to cover the outside part when you stride back towards the pitcher from an open stance.
Two and two. Got it on the inside part of the plate, lofted to center field, and Cradle will have no trouble with this one. And Russ Johnson retreats to second base.
Harry Berrios missed his pitch that time. That was a hanging slider over the heart of the plate.
An opportunity wasted. Remember, Berrios should have been out the first time on the pop to the catcher. And this is Mike Neal, who is 1 for 2, infield single. And hitting .319 for the season. He's got a little pop, too, with 5 home runs. Hit. Foul. Just outside of third.
Wow, that was close. I thought that was fair. I thought it went right over the bag.
I did, too, and the third base umpire, Tony Thompson, did not make the call immediately. He put his arm straight up in the air and then finally made the call a foul.
Watch this ball come right down the line now.
Ooh.
See where he catches it. He catches almost on the outside of the line, which makes you think the ball hooked over the bag, but the umpire's right there.
It's a heck of a play by Falskin.
Yeah, great play.
So Neal has a count of 0-1 with 2 out, still 2 on. LSU has already cut the lead by 1. Hit back up the middle, diving stop by Martins, comes up throwing, didn't get it. They're loaded.
But it's a great stop by Eric Martins up the middle. What a great defensive play to keep the runner at third base. Let's watch this. Does a good job of hitting it. Martins has to dive, knocks it down, gets up quick, and still almost gets him at first base. But more importantly, the runner stays at third. He comes around, he's checking things. The ball's bobbled, he'll go home. Bases loaded.
Johnson at third, Walker at second, Neal at first for Jim Greeley, who has been the hero before. He is 0 for 2 today, but 7 for 13 in the College World Series with 2 homers and 7 RBIs.
Right man at the right spot. Jim Greeley.
Oh, hit weakly on the ground to Martins, and he will get the play at first. Greeley got a pitch could have ridden, but bounced to second, and they strand all three. LSU cuts the gap to 1. Last night in Game 12 of the College World Series, Wichita State's Casey Blake led a shocker charge with 5 RBIs against Oklahoma State. And then the closers, Darren Dreifert and Jamie Bluma, shut down the Cowboys, and they'll now face the winner of this game for the national championship. Line score of that game, Wichita State 10-4. And the 8th inning was a big inning again, although it was not the comeback inning. Wichita State put it away in the visitor half of the 8th. And they are waiting until tomorrow to find out who they will play in the national championship game. That was a big inning for Long Beach State to get out of. They had 2 big power hitters up there in a situation where they really could have done some damage.
Both teams with inability to really capitalize on big rallies. They get a run, but that's about it.
Sirotka to Eric Martins, who was 1 for 3. LSU actually has out-hit the 49ers. They have 8 base hits to 5 for Long Beach State. But LSU has chipped in with 3 errors.
I really thought Greeley had a perfect pitch to hit last time. Both of us saw it go, and it got bigger as it got to him.
I'm sure Greeley feels the same way. Martins tries to bunt. Nice play by Sirotka. Hustled off the mound. Martins, who had only had 2 hits in the series, was trying to make something happen, push it off the right side.
Martins, who's played a great defensive game, tried the surprise, but you got to get it by the pitcher. Just didn't have it far enough on this slow infield grass.
And here is the free swinging Eddie Davis. Hasn't seen a pitch he didn't like so far.
See it and hit it. If you can reach it, swing at it.
Davis 1 for 3, struck out, grounded out, and had the 2-run homer in the first, which gives him 2 homers and 4 at-bats. To Davis, and 100 pitches are already for Mike Sirotka as we enter the top of the 7th. Just missed with a fastball outside 1-2.
Mike, I've noticed one thing about Davis that he does very well, Nick. He keeps that front foot closed. It really keeps your hips together.
Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate, and Davis can't believe it. He'll sit down.
We'll all take a look and see if Sirotka paints the black on the inside, and unless he catches the front edge of home plate, that looks like a ball. Strike zone is widened here in the 7th inning.
Antonini had to reach a long way to get it.
Made a good stretch for that slider.
And 6 strikeouts now for Sirotka, and he'll face Kevin Curtis. Sirotka seeing some life in his teammates' bat, just trying to hold Long Beach State at 3. They haven't scored since the 3rd inning. Through the hole into left field. Base hit for Kevin Curtis with 2 gone. If you're Dave Snow and your ball club has not generated much offense since back in the 3rd inning, do you try to make something happen with 2 out with Brian Smith up there? It's fun to manage, isn't it?
It really is. And I think with 2 outs, though, you want a guy like Smith who can extend those arms and hit the ball out of the ballpark. You probably want to give him 3 swings.
Curtis already has a stolen base today, his 5th in 8 tries this year. And Smith 1 for 3 with a double.
Good job of hitting last time by Smith, who took an outside fastball to right field. Good plate coverage. Long arm.
Sirotka just reminding Curtis, and Curtis staring intently into the dugout to get the sign from Dave Snow. Strike call to Brian Smith. 0-1.
Smith picking up the sign from Snow. If I was Dave Snow, it would definitely be get a good pitch and rip it.
Snow going through the signals.
He's got his game face on.
In the air to center field.
That's
Rios
trouble.
broke back.
That's trouble. Oh!
And it's dropped. Walker couldn't make the catch. Curtis missed the sign. They were waving him home, and Curtis stopped at third.
What a bad job of base running by Kevin Curtis. With 2 outs, he should have scored easily. That could be a big play deciding the outcome of this game.
Rios probably couldn't have gotten there, but he broke back 3 steps.
And Brian Smith just lobs it to center field. Walker comes out. He's got a shot at it. Goes off the ends of his glove. Now he hits it. Now he can't pick it up. The runner shouldn't be looking. He should be picking up the coach. He's still not looking at the coach. Now he slows down. Why did he slow down? Now he starts up again.
And you can see in that replay the arm of the third base coach waving him on. So you've got Curtis down at third, Smith at second with 2 out, and Jeff Leefer 1 for 2 at the plate.
That's a big run. The 49ers needed that breathing room.
Boy, and he would have scored too, Steve.
Much easily. Standing up. No play. Because the relay throw was off.
Yep. Strike 2 called. Well, there will be one they'll remember. Foul back. Well, Curtis made a couple of cardinal errors on that play. You got to pick up the third base coach as quickly as you can when you're going to second, but he was intent on watching the play 10 steps around the bag.
And the least you can do with 2 out is run as hard as you possibly can. Now we have the worst of base running, and we had some very good base running by Brian Smith, though, who ends up on second base.
Exactly.
He did a good job. Wow, that's nailed.
Drilled to center. Rios has a bead. A pair left. A base running mistake cost the 49ers a run. They still lead it 3-2. Long Beach State lost an opportunity to add to their lead. They're still up 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Here's the problem. He's looking at the ball. He's not looking at the coach. He probably forgets there are 2 outs. Still hasn't picked up the coach. Now he stops. Now he tries to start. Watch the ball just dribble into the infield. He could have scored standing up.
Nine men left on base, 8 in scoring positions for Long Beach State. And you have talked repeatedly throughout this series the lost opportunities to put somebody away. That killer instinct that just hasn't been present here.
And that's why the Wichita Shockers are playing tomorrow in the championship game, because they did that against Oklahoma State.
Exactly.
They got a couple runs, then they got 4, then they got 3 more, and they kept piling it on, and they got themselves into their game plan, which was get to those last 4 innings and let Dreifert and Bluma take over.
And you can bet that Skip Bertman has talked to his club and said, hey, they gave us an opening here, guys. Antonini, that'll hook foul. Really got around on Fontana that time. The 8 and 9 hitters will lead it off here. Antonini 0 for 2. Gonzalez and Goldstein, the bullpen duo for Long Beach State, up and warming.
Antonini can't wait to hit. He'll swing at anything that gets up there.
0-2.
Good fastball by Fontana. But number 6 is due. He's had some good cuts.
Well, let's see if that mental mistake affects Long Beach State in the field. Just ticked back. You wouldn't think the Dirtbags would let it get him down.
It's just like Rudy Rodriguez said. When we go out, we stay focused, we do our best, we forget the bad mistakes, concentrate on the next opportunity. They're refocused.
Ooh, strike 3 call. Antonini frozen by a breaking ball.
Great word. This is a prime example of a backup slider that freezes the hitter. But what a great pitch to hit. Couldn't pull the trigger. 1 away.
Kenny Jackson with 1 gone. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. The 3rd strikeout for Fontana. Straight away center. Kobe Cradle drifts back and gets to the warning track to make the catch. He came in a step on that ball. Seen several outfielders misjudge shots off the bat today.
I've always found that outfielders have a little more difficulty against left-handed hitters. And that may be because the left-handers seem, for whatever reason, anatomically, whatever, they have a more fluid swing, and there's a tendency to be lulled a little bit by the ball coming off the bat. But the right-handers, we're up there cutting and slashing and hacking.
There's one ripped into left center by Jason Williams, and it's a base hit with 2 out. Steve, I think you're absolutely right about that. Whatever it is, they are different, and it does give you a different look as an outfielder. And outfielders have a tendency to take that first step in anyhow that they have to fight their entire lives.
Well, in your stance in the outfield, you are bent over, so your natural instinct is to take a step forward.
Armando Rios, 1 for 3. We're in the bottom of the 7th. LSU down by a run. Jason Williams with good speed at first. And now he's got a big lead against Fontana.
Bertman likes to manufacture runs. He knows time's running out here in the bottom of the 7th.
And Williams has to dive back. Before that throw, he had his right foot just about even with a cutout portion of the infield.
Could look for a pitch out in one of these first couple of pitches.
Rios tags one way back. Off the base of the wall. Williams around third, headed for the plate. He'll score. And we're tied at 3. The little man with a lot of power crunched one off the wall in right center.
We talked about the Tigers' power. Here's Rios. Gets a ball and tees it up and hits it to right center off the wall. Hits in the base, comes back to Cradle. Hits the cutoff man, but too late. The game's tied.
And Rios has to be thinking to himself, I made up for that error.
Atonement. Good job, Armando.
And that could be all for Fontana with the 2 bullpen aces having plenty of time to get warmed up.
Okay, Dave Snow's.
As we told you before, Rios has been here before. In '91, he had the 2-run homer that beat Wichita State. No stranger to pressure. And they are going to leave Mike Fontana in the ballgame. We have seen this several times during this College World Series, Steve, where you make an assumption that a guy is getting tagged very hard. Critical situation, you've got some good relief pitchers, and there he is.
It's like you're really reluctant to take that starter out. You might hurt his feelings, but it's okay. He'll get over it. We talked about Dave Snow. Dave Snow thinks about today, 1 pitch at a time, but in the back of his mind, he still has to think of tomorrow.
The lead run is down at second. And of course, you're in a situation now where it's Johnny Holstaff. Everybody out there is available.
Here's another fellow, Russ Johnson. Russ had a tough error early in the game. Is it his turn to atone for that error?
Johnson 1 for 3. The lead run at second base, Armando Rios. And he can run. The outfield straight away for the sophomore shortstop. We've had so many great late inning ball games, not decided till the 7th, 8th, or 9th.
It's a pretty good 2-out rally right here.
Sure is. Ooh. Foul back on the screen, 2-1, and Todd Walker, the All-American, on deck, hoping for a shot. He's 3 for 3 today.
Like our viewers, you have to forgive me for getting a little excited sometimes when I see these great pitches come up to hit. And it's just like I'm up there too, and I want to swing at them. I want to help the kids out.
Just way outside 3-1. While you have to be careful with Johnson, you don't want to walk him and bring up Walker. I think Fontana has the feeling if he loses Johnson, he's gone.
It's back to the chess game now. This baseball chess game of righty against righty. Now if the lefty comes up, you've got a left-hander warming up in the bullpen, then you bring in him.
Fontana misses inside, and Johnson will go down to first base. So 2 on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And Todd Walker 3 for 3 with a home run. And Watley is going to go out to talk to Mike Fontana, who has seen his lead slip away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Got to take him out. And he does.
And Dave Snow comes out. We'll check out the pitching change for you when we come back. This is Gabe Gonzalez in his 4th College World Series game this year. He has gone 5 2/3 innings, allowed no earned runs, only 2 hits. Has won 1 of them, struck out 7 and walked only 3. Boy, we've seen some sensational relief pitching in this series. And he is on in the most pressure-packed situation Long Beach State has faced all year. Well, he's hit the bullseye a couple of times today. 3 for 3 and a home run.
That's just in his spot too, in left center.
Fontana leaves after 6 2/3, allowing 10 hits and 3 runs. He's responsible for the 2 men on base right now. And Todd Walker, who came into this game 1 for 11 in the College World Series. That was a grand slam. Now he's 4 for 15. Still far below his regular season batting average, close to 400 all year long.
But today he's been a single rhythm hitter. Nice and smooth. Nice short stride, quick hands.
He's 0 for 5 against lefties. Boy, he's put up some numbers. He has 98 RBIs this year. 98 in a college season. That is a remarkable statistic.
Well, if he gets one in the gap, he'll have an even 100.
Yep.
Because he's got a couple of good base runners on.
Tied at 3, 2 outs, 2 on, bottom of the 7th. Strike call.
Good starting pitch by Gonzalez. Almost too good.
Gonzalez is not allowed to run in his last 13 appearances. 3 extra base hits this year. All year. Boy, really whips that center fastball.
What Gabe does very, very well is he keeps the ball down. Tough to get doubles off the wall when you keep the ball down, you keep it moving. Very tough on left-handers. Turns the ball over against right-handed hitters. Goes across his body. Very difficult to pick up.
Strike two called, 1-2. Oh, and Skip Bertman really unhappy with the call.
Well, the strike zone has been down for a couple innings now, and if you look, yes, that is a ball, but that's where he's been calling him, so it's all in where the umpire sets up the strike zone.
May see it again, too. Hit towards second. Martins. They're out of the inning, so they get the dangerous Walker to bounce out to second base. But through 7 full, we're tied at 3. We go to the dreaded 8th inning of the College World Series. That's where almost 50% of late inning action has come this year. We're tied at 3. And it has been one dramatic game after another here in Omaha. 4 of the game-winning rallies in the last 7 games have come in the 8th.
And a couple more in the 7th inning.
Yep. Had a brief rain shower middle of this afternoon, but since then the weatherman has been kind to us. Hot and breezy here in Omaha.
Mike, and this is the top of the 8th. I'm a little concerned about Mike Sorotka, the number of pitches he's thrown. Pitched the other day. We'll see how tired he's getting.
Watley, the catcher, is up 1 for 1 on a pair of sacrifices on the day. And 4 for 14 in the College World Series. Strike called, another low strike.
Oh, there it is, though. We talked about it's all relative to what the umpires determine the strike zone to be, and it's down now. It's below the kneecaps. Sets up outside. See, the problem when it gets low and wide, now you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
So far it's just lower. Watley's a better left-handed hitter than he is a right-handed hitter. So he's got to think contact, get the ball the other way.
Pops it up behind the plate. Antonini coming back, and a row back in the seats. Watley didn't have a very good cut at that last one, but last year he hit .351. He's a much better hitter than his numbers.
I just get a big kick out of Adrian Antonini. This big smile out of Miami Beach. Speaks fluent Spanish. And just fun to be around. Always has a laugh, smile, and a great arm to go with it.
His smile will be even bigger if they can win and get to the national championship game tomorrow. Hit on the ground to third. Williams. Bad throw. Watley will go into second. Jason Williams appeared to throw that ball flat-footed. And it sailed over the head of Kenny Jackson, the 4th LSU error. And it's tormented Skip Bertman all year long.
Skip shakes his head. He has plenty of time, doesn't really get into it, and leaves the throw high. Can't believe it. So the ball's right to me.
And he's an excellent defensive player with a very accurate arm. But he has put the lead run on at second base. And Rudy Rodriguez 0 for 2 in the sacrifice. And already squaring around to try to get him down to third base.
Walks and errors have been the downfall of each team that's been eliminated here at the World Series. And today, 5 errors in total. LSU with 4 into the top of the 8th.
But it's pretty hard to expect to win at this level in a national semifinal when you commit that many mistakes.
That's right.
On routine plays, every one of them. Rodriguez did a good job of taking the ball low and inside. 1-0 from Mike Sorotka, who's trying to get another complete game. He has 9, which is an LSU season record. And Antonini going out to make sure the defense is on the same page.
This goes back to compounding the defensive problems of LSU. Another good bunt.
Beautiful sacrifice down the third baseline. They get the out, but Watley moves to third with 1 out.
Rodriguez doing what a captain should do. Perfect bunt. Williams comes in, almost gets a piece of Kenny Jackson, but gets him out.
The 4th Long Beach State sacrifice of the ball game. And it sets it up for Tim Falskin. And now the infield will come in. Keep in mind the runner at third is Brian Watley, the catcher. So you don't have great speed down there. And Long Beach has done absolutely nothing with runners in scoring position today. And they're going to walk Falskin to set up the double play possibility. The next man due up is Kobe Cradle, who is not an easy guy to double.
I think they've rethought this. I wouldn't put him on. Cradle's got too good a speed. He has the ability to chop the ball into the infield. We're talking about the last 2 innings of the game here on the top of the 8th. 1 run could decide it.
Swing and a miss. You know, that first one could have been a pitch out.
Could have been. I was sneezing and I missed it. Forgive me.
I thought I saw Antonini put the arm out to give him the pass. If it was a pitch out, it was a pretty blatant signal to throw a pitch out.
It was a semi-pitch out. Maybe they're going to squeeze type sign. Gives the indication inside. Sets up in.
2-1 to Falskin.
Remember, from our center field camera for our viewers, you can see the catcher either shift one way or the other, showing location, or at the end of his signals, he will tap his inner thigh on one side or the other, and that'll give you an indication. Dave Snow's looking in now. He's trying to pick up something from Antonini. He's also looking at Bertman.
Sorotka really muscled that one up. May have been his fastest pitch of the ball game, and he got it in for strike 2.
But more importantly, great location. That ball there is very difficult to keep fair, and if you do, it's usually a ground ball right at the third baseman.
Falskin has had his opportunities at the plate today. He has stranded 4 runners in scoring position already. And Sorotka would like to punch him out again. That's what you need right here, a strikeout from your pitcher.
Dave Snow, he's thinking, if I could just go to monitor in Falskin's ear, tell him, move up in the box a little bit, take that tight slider before it breaks, then you can keep it fair and you can drive the ball.
Everybody taking their time in this situation. Falskin fouled that one off. And with the infield in, you have made Tim Falskin a dangerous hitter.
Walker outs really has been trying to distract the hitter, beating his hands in his glove and then making motions with his arms.
Fouled away again. Sorotka and Falskin dead even right now. 2-2, just fighting each other off.
This is a good pitcher-batter battle. Usually the hitter has the advantage the more pitches that the pitcher will throw, because you get a better look at each one of the pitches and the timing of them. So Falskin should have the advantage at this point with 1 out.
Inside and low, 3-2, and the wheels are really turning in both dugouts. You've got to think about so much at this level, not just the routine stuff, but potential trick plays. Having the runner come down the third baseline and trying to distract the pitcher.
Skip Bertman calls the signs, gives them to Antonini. Antonini sets up over the outside of the plate. Oh,
strikeout for Mike Sirotka. His 7th of the ball game.
Now remember the sequence of pitches. Tight sliders down and in. Now he sets up outside, and that fastball just cuts on the black. Strike 3.
And Skip Bertman has come to the mound with 2 outs and a runner at third. He has already made his indication to the bullpen, I believe. Hunt and Schultz are down there. He pointed to the bullpen on his way out. Schultz and Hunt.
I think what he did, Mike, was check with his pitching coach to see if they were ready. He has a lot of confidence in Mike Sirotka.
125, and Sirotka will stay in.
It's a lot of pitches for a control pitcher. Now, this is where speed could pay off for the 49ers. Cradle hits the ball in the right spot. He's got enough speed to beat out an infield hit.
Cradle is 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. And Cradle shortened up as if the bunt took a called strike. And that brought Jason Williams scrambling in from third.
See, Williams is in at third, but Jackson and Walker are back. Now, Cradle, if he's going to bunt, he should have just turned it over down the right side, and he could have beaten it out easily.
Outside, 1-1. 2 men out, a runner at third. Brian Watley in a 3-3 game in the 8th.
Cradle's been here before. An experienced College World Series player.
Blocked by the catcher, and Watley can't advance. What a beautiful play by Antonini. And it looked like Sirotka overthrew that one, trying to get as much on it as he could.
Good job by big number 6, Adrian Antonini. Moves around well, turns his glove around, which you shouldn't really do. You should have palms down. And the ball just doesn't go far enough to advance the runner.
2-1 to Cradle.
Looked pretty good to me. How about you?
Yeah. But if the strike zone starts at the ankles, maybe that was too high.
Well, it shifted down a little bit. Gosh, it's probably below the letters now to below the knees.
And Sirotka thought that one got in there too, and Cradle will walk.
Last 2 pitches have been very, very close. Let's take a look at this one. This is a little above the waist, over the plate. Runners on first.
Those are tough.
Some pitches speak for themselves.
Brian Watley down at third, Cradle over at first, 2 out. Eric Martins is up. He's 1 for 4. And blocked again by Antonini. Nobody going anywhere.
Antonini doing a great job behind home plate.
Little shake of the head.
Can't believe Sirotka's so far off. This one just knocks him down. See, and the great thing is it's not getting too far away from him. A lot of times we'll see a good block and it'll carry him 15, 20 feet away.
Eighth inning, 2 on, 2 out, 3-3 tie. Outside, 2-0 to Martins. Eddie Davis is on deck.
Talk about college plays, amateur plays to disrupt the defense. This might be a time to let Cradle hit towards second base. The only problem is Watley's just an average runner, but put pressure on the defense. We've seen it happen before successfully at this College World Series. The Tigers with 4 errors already. To me, that's good baseball. Keeping pressure on the defense.
Good hitters pitch here, too. 2-0. 3-0. And Antonini had to dig another one out of the dirt.
I had a feeling that Sirotka was going to start to labor because he's pitched a lot in this World Series, and being a control pitcher, he doesn't throw a lot of pitches, not like a Brooks Kieschnick. That's 132 pitches now for a fellow who has pitched a lot this week. And you can see he's losing the edge. A couple of balls that look like strikes were called balls. Trying to figure out where the strike zone is. He might hang one there.
Ball 4. They are loaded for the dangerous Eddie Davis. And let's see what Skip Bertman will do.
Well, we talked about Texas riding their horse, Brooks Kieschnick.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like Skip Bertman will hang in there with Mike Sirotka.
Sirotka in his second start. He also relieved earlier this week against Long Beach State. And Davis reached him with a 2-run homer then. He reached him with a 2-run homer today.
This is the biggest situation. There's Sandy Bertman.
Well, you can bet Eddie Davis was hoping Sirotka would stay in with his success against him.
Big situation.
Strike call. That may be the first pitch Davis has taken today.
With bases loaded, it's a tough time to take a pitch. Sirotka bears down in these situations better than any other college pitcher.
Strike 2 call. Boy, 2 beauties after he had loaded the bases. Sirotka has 7 strikeouts trying for his 8th.
Watch this pitch right over the outside corner after he couldn't find the plate. He comes back with 2 big pitches.
0-2. They're loaded up in the 8th in a tie game.
He makes a mistake. It's broken open.
Fly ball. That's trouble. Berrios got there. Long Beach State has stranded 10 men in scoring position. They're still tied at 3. LSU with a little team huddle as they go to the bottom of the 8th. Tied at 3. They dodged the biggest bullet of the College World Series in the top of the 8th. Bases loaded, and Mike Sirotka came through to get the final out.
A lot of leadership taking over there. The players themselves getting together, knowing that with the home field advantage in this, the bottom of the 8th, this is their chance. All they need is 1 to go ahead.
.371 for the 49ers, 310-4 for LSU. Boy, tough to be a coach at any level. I tell you, it'd just wring it out of you, wouldn't it?
A lot of pressure right from the beginning. You got your best pitcher on the mound, and he lets up a 400-foot home run in the first inning. And it hasn't been any easier since.
Power-hitting Harry Berrios will lead it off against Gabe Gonzalez. Berrios, Neal, and Greeley. Does the name Greeley sound familiar? He's been the killer in this series.
It'd scare me if I was an opposing pitcher.
The outfield will step around to the left and deep for Berrios. Big, long swing, and he missed it.
On a tough slider down.
Up and in that time. Gonzalez has the entire repertoire. Throws a lot of breaking balls, change-up, sliders, got a curveball, and that whip sidearm fastball. Hit wide of third. Long throw for Rodriguez. Didn't get it. made that close with a tremendous throw from the outfield grass.
Rudy Rodriguez with another excellent play at shortstop. This time he's shaded into the hole. He has a little more opportunity to get him and guns it. Just barely misses him. Watch this throw. Great camera work right at the first baseman, but he does beat it out by a step.
Berrios with an infield base hit. And Mike Neal comes up. Neal 2 for 3. Beat out a ground ball to Rodriguez earlier. Single to drive in Martins the last time up. You like the sacrifice here?
I'd like him to hit away, but he's going to bunt. I just think if you start looking past Greeley, I'd like to see him get a guy in scoring position because Neal does a good job of hitting left-handed pitching.
Well, if you sacrifice him over and bring up Greeley, you might think about walking to Greeley and then pitching to Antonini in that spot. A good double play man.
That's right. Very good double play men in both Antonini and Jackson if you get down that far with less than 2 out.
See what Neal does. Squared around a bunt, takes the called strike.
I would say that's as good a textbook squaring up and then looking the ball back in the mitt.
Neal looking down to the third base coach. And 1, a runner at first, nobody out, bottom of the 8th.
Now you can see a little hitting and running here.
Well, Brian Smith nearly crossed up, and he's going to come and talk to Gonzalez.
Well, sometimes you can put a play on here. You can start forward and then break back. See, he goes in and fakes and tries to come back, but you got to make sure your pitcher throws it right at you. Bertman's very smart. He showed bunt once already. And he's going to let him hit.
This could be 2, 4, 6, 3, double play. So they take the sacrifice off, and Neal bounces into the 4-6-3 double play. Martins, Rodriguez to Smith.
Pretty good pitch. Hit right at a great second baseman in Martins. Over to Rodriguez. Back to Smith. The routine.
Jim Greeley will come up with the bases empty and 2 gone in the 8th. What a great College World Series he has had against a tremendous relief pitcher, and can't get that one. 0 for 3 today.
Greeley way out in front of a straight change. Probably the best I've seen in this World Series.
We talked about it being tough on the coaches. Twice as tough on the parents. To live and die with every pitch.
All you can do is watch. Oh!
Had him out in front again.
Another straight change. Now you know if you get one the first time, somewhere in the rest of the count you're going to get one again because they're trying to get Greeley out of his rhythm. He's hit fastballs all over the ballpark. Some hard sliders, but not many slower pitches.
0-2.
Johnny doesn't throw it by him.
Stayed alive, just cued it off the end of the bat.
See, when you're up there and you're hitting well, now a guy throws you 2 great straight changes. Now you got 2 strikes and no balls. In the back of your mind saying, I don't want him to throw the next one by me. You're still geared up for that fastball. Got to think in terms of hitting the ball the other way now. Crafty left-handed pitcher, the blade. Sets up outside.
And 2 low, 1-2.
Posada was a great game, pitcher and batter, especially late in the game. Power hitter against a pitcher who mixes speeds up. What do you throw him? Where do you throw him? Where's he going to throw me? What speed will it come?
Ripped to third. Falskin, great pick, and he throws him out. Falskin on the shortstop. Short hop retires Greeley. We're still tied at 3. Go to the top of the ninth in a tie ball game. Kevin Curtis will lead it off. We asked him what Dave Snow had said to him before the ball game.
He basically just told us that you're not out until you're out, and that basically we're just we're gonna have to fight a little bit harder to stay in it. And you know, once again, he didn't really put a lot of high expectations on us as a ball club.
Now, those sunglasses didn't quite fit the dirtbag image, did they?
He just took that out of the case today, but the quote did. I mean, that's the philosophy. He tries to take the pressure off his players. He just wants them to go out one play at a time, like he said. If the ball's hit to me, what do I do with it? From behind, let's take a pitch, work the pitcher a little bit.
Curtis is 1 for 4, had a single.
We talked about making up for mistakes. Curtis, who made the big running mistake before, I know it's in the back of his mind. He's saying, I want to get on base. I want to make up for it.
And Sorotka trying to give a Brooks Kieschnick-like performance here, throwing a lot of pitches, just trying to hang on.
But he won't last too long. That first pitch is an indication of a real laboring on Sorotka's part.
Curtis steps out.
What he's been able to do is, even when he struggled, come back with a real quality pitch, and then with a 3-2 count or a 2-2, come up with his best pitch on a hitter.
Power here in the ninth. Curtis, Smith, and Leifer, the scheduled hitters against Sorotka. 2-0. Sorotka's walked 5 today, struck out 7.
Nothing will irritate the Tigers more than getting a pitch called a ball that they thought was a strike. That's the one thing that bothers them.
139 pitches for Mike Sorotka. And Sorotka just slumped the shoulders after that call of ball 3.
Strike zone has become much smaller in the last inning or so. Those pitches seem to be on the corners, and we know that that pitch has been called a third strike on a couple guys around the middle portion of the game.
And you always hear players talk about consistency. Sorotka inside with that, and Kevin Curtis draws a leadoff walk. Skip Bertman now facing another decision. What do you do with Sorotka? How long do you go with him? Although made a couple of good pitches there to Curtis.
Yeah, but when does it become psychological? And I know Sorotka's a veteran, and he's battled his way through these situations so far into the ninth. But there comes a time, and Skip Bertman, he's torn right now. Has he lost it? Should I go to a fresher arm? Sudden death situation. The team that loses is gone. The team that wins is in the championship game tomorrow.
And we'll have a pinch hitter for first baseman Brian Smith. It's Jeff Richardson, a junior from Walnut, California. .314 hitter on the season. Only played in 36 games. He's got good speed. And you have to believe he's up there to bunt. If he isn't, we've got an upset.
Bunting first and good speed second, important in Richardson's offense.
Trying to keep Curtis close. He has a stolen base today.
I don't think he wants to jeopardize being advanced. So
no.
He's going to stay a half a step closer to first base.
Bunt down, might have a play at second. And got it. Sorotka came off the mound, barehanded it, and gunned it to shortstop Russ Johnson. Bang, bang at second base.
You never know who's going to show up defensively, which Sorotka is going to show up. And this time, he barehands it and fires a strike to second base, and he gets him. What a play.
So the potential lead run is still at first in the person of Richardson with 1 gone and Leifer at the plate. He's 1 for 3 plus a walk. Richardson has only tried 2 steals all year, made them both. And Leifer a dangerous hitter.
Leifer's definitely going up there swinging. He's got the power to both alleys. They're shading him a little bit to left center. Infield, normal depth.
During the regular season, led the team in home runs, RBIs, and doubles. Another throw over. Richardson is back. Sirotka just trying to tough it out here in the 9th. Hoping his guys can win it for him in the bottom of the inning.
They're going to try to work inside and outside on Leifer. He's a young hitter, so they'll just try to mix up locations. They'll try to jam him, then he'll go away with a slider on the outside. Antonini sets up on the outside.
Hit toward the hole, into right field, base hit. Richardson around second, hesitated, now will have to go back.
That's okay. The runner picked up the third base coach that time. It looked like Berrios was going to field it cleanly, but Berrios bobbled the ball. The 49ers with 1 out have runners on first and second.
And Brian Watley, the catcher, the scheduled hitter, a guy that they might be able to induce into a double play. Watley is 1 for 2, has 2 sacrifices. Senior against senior. Hit to third, right through the glove of Williams, down the line. Richardson will score. Leifer will be held at third. A double play ball hit to Jason Williams at third, and it went right through. Tough chance, but he'll tell you he should have come up with it.
That was a smash right at Jason Williams. He had 1 throwing error earlier. That's what happens when you put pressure on the defense. We've seen it time and time again. 1, 2, stays down and goes through him. The coach is going to wave him in. He knows he's going to score. The question is, what do I do with the next base runner? He's going to pick up the coach. He's been told, and to stop right at the bag.
That is the 5th LSU error. Still only 1 out. The infield has to come in, and Rodriguez squared around to put down the suicide bunt. Excuse me, that would have been the safety squeeze because Leifer was holding at third. Came about 10, 12 feet down the line. Rodriguez 0 for 2. He's already sacrificed twice. And now Dave Snow's got all the options in the world.
Not so sure I wouldn't walk this hitter.
Swing and a miss, foul tip from the glove of Antonini.
And you may say why, but then you have a force at home plate. The next batter, Falskin, has struck out twice today. He's 0 for 4.
On 1-1, do you go back to the bunt? No. Squared around a little, took it for the 2nd strike.
I think you got to do one or the other. You got to make your attempt on the 1st or 2nd pitch and now go to hitting. Now he's wasted 2 strikes. But if there's one guy that can do it, it's Rudy Rodriguez, the captain of this team.
The infield is in with 1 out. Strike 3 called, and look at Rodriguez. He about came out of his shoes on that call.
Well, most college coaches will tell you you can't leave the game up to the home plate umpire. We'll take a look at Sirotka. Ball looks like it's outside. Antonini frames it. The umpire calls it strike 3, so it's strike 3.
2 gone, runners at 2nd and 3rd for Falskin, who is 0 for 4. And as you said, Steve, he struck out twice today. Sirotka now has 8 Ks, but he is down a run in the ninth. And Falston was going to bunt with 2 out.
See, this is not drag bunting. These guys are almost squaring around to get the ball down.
It's almost a sacrifice technique.
I know. You can't do that with 2 outs and a runner on third. You got to try to just drop it down that third base line. There's a loose group of young men who have tightened themselves together now in this 9th inning. See, he almost squares around, then he takes it. Now, either that's a take sign, or he doesn't know how to drag bunt.
Sirotka now up to 150 pitches. Just missed with that one. 1-1. Dave Snow said playing in the College World Series probably means more to this kid than to anybody else on either team. He bunts it.
Good bunt. That's a good bunt. Oh, he can't make the play. He's got, the third baseman wanted to go, but he saw the ball in front of him.
Holy cow. Falston squares around, shows bunt. It was a good bunt, but I think Sirotka had him. And then falls down.
He had a chance for this bunt. This was an excellent bunt. Again, it's amazing to see a guy square around without the third baseman charging right down on you. Look at this bunt by Falston. That's a great bunt. 25 feet, then he kicks it. And like we said before, we don't know which Sirotka is going to field the ball. The greatest fielder of all time or a man who has problems.
And the third baseman, Jason Williams, was 15 feet behind third base when he squared around. They will rule that one a hit. And it's 5-3 for Kobe Cradle and Long Beach State. LSU already had 5 errors in this ball game. And certainly they have been their own worst enemy.
Another hit really breaks this game open. This is the top of the 9th.
And Cradle was squared around. They faked the throw. Go back to third. They got it. No, he missed him. Well, that's what the runner is saying, but LSU is off the field. They bluff the throw to second and pick Watley off of third.
Antonini does a great job, but I really think the third baseman misses him here. Good fake. Now he comes back and throws to third.
Whoa.
He doesn't tag him. He missed him.
Oh, great angle.
This is our angle. Now watch the glove sweep. No, he doesn't tag him. He misses him. But he does a good job of faking it.
We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. 5-3 Long Beach State. The clouds are forming down the right field line. They have already formed for LSU. 5 boots in the ball game, and the Tigers are behind Long Beach State 5-3. Long Beach State 1 out of 17 today with runners in scoring position. They have had countless chances to put it away. Davis's 2-run homer in the first. They're only earned runs. The other 3 were unearned. And they have come from those 5 errors and 1 other misplay that could have been an error.
This has been a bizarre game, Mike, simply because the bunting has been, the guys have been squaring around, and instead of dragging, just giving it away, and nobody's been charging. And it's been an amazing game.
John Swanson, the new first baseman, and Adrian Antonini, the number 8 hitter, will lead it off. He is 0 for 3. He'll be followed scheduled. Kenny Jackson, the first baseman, and then back to the top of the order. Last chance for LSU. And the blade misses with the first one. Gonzalez would be the winner of this ball game in relief. And he has been sensational in his last 14 appearances. Missed 2-0.
Antonini's going to be taking a strike. You take a strike in this situation until the winning or tying runs up at the plate.
Mark Stocco is already out on deck to hit for Kenny Jackson. Strike called, 2-1. Gonzalez coming into the game had only walked 18 compared with 49 strikeouts.
Antonini, a big, powerful right-handed hitter, pull hitter. Catcher sets up inside for Antonini, and he nails that ball to right center. Base hit, cut off by Cradle, and Antonini will hold at first base. Clutch base hit. You really like the kid, don't you? I really do. But here's the one location that Antonini can hit the ball. And that's on the inside quarter down low, and that's where they give it to him. And he leads off the inning with a solid single.
Mark Stocco will be the pinch hitter. Ryan Huffman comes in to run for Antonini. So your starting catcher is gone. Huffman with good speed. It's a safety on the football team, has outstanding wheels. And Stocco with some power, 4 home runs this year, a .295 average, as you see. The tying run is at the plate. Lefty against lefty. Strike call.
Now you can go up there ripping. Now you got a chance to tie the game up with one swing.
It was a tough spot for a left-handed pinch hitter to come up against a guy like Gonzalez, who looks like he's throwing the ball out of your right ear anyway.
But the pinch hitting philosophy is you go up there swinging. You can't afford to take strikes.
1-1. And the LSU faithful biting those purple nails, hanging on, just waiting for one more rally to get them to a national championship.
Well, don't go away, because that's been the theme of this College World Series. Come from behind.
Tapped foul off the first base side. 1-2 to Mark Stocco.
Just when the 49ers thought it was safe to take a deep breath, the Tigers get a man on, and this the bottom of the 9th. Nobody out.
Wind blowing to left. Foul off again. The count rides at 1-2. No action. Excuse me. No action in the bullpen.
Yeah. No, they're going to go with him. They like the way he throws, keeps the ball down. Stocco's taking some good cuts.
Breaking ball nearly hit him.
He's looking for a little nick right there.
Yeah.
He would have taken it.
Kept the inside shoulder right where it was.
Sandy Bertman, wife of Skip. She's been here before.
And saw him come away with a national championship trophy 2 years ago. 2-2 to Stocco. Fouled it off again. Stocco hanging in there against the tough left-hander. Jason Williams, the leadoff hitter, is next. Dave Snow 3 outs away from getting into the national championship game against Wichita State. This is the kind of week it's been. Go in! Come on! Struck him out.
Very difficult for a left-handed hitter off the bench coming up against Gabe Gonzalez, the Blade. He's as tough on lefties as anybody here at this series, and he gets him on a great pitch on the outside. This has got two more to go.
Jason Williams 2 for 4, and that one floats high and outside. Williams came into this game 1 for 12 in the College World Series, 2 for 4 this afternoon. Redshirt freshman from Gonzales, Louisiana, in the biggest at bat of his young career.
He's had a tough day defensively, but he can make up for it with one swing of the bat.
Sports Center follows our broadcast. Strike call, 2-1. While we have the opportunity, my sincere thanks to Steve Garvey and Larry Conley and our entire crew. The best in the game for a wonderful week here in Omaha.
We've had a ball, as they say.
It's great. Long Beach lost its opening game, fought their way back through the losers bracket. There's 3-1 to Jason Williams. He represents the tying run. Armando Rios is on deck, and Russ Johnson after him if they can keep it going.
And you may be wondering about the 49er bullpen. There's nobody in the bullpen. This is Gabe Gonzalez's game to win or lose.
Ball 4, and Gonzalez wants to know where that one was. That was where the strike zone had been in the last half of the ballgame.
That was a strike 1 inning ago. This ball looks low, but that's where the umpire has been calling that strike. This game is played by human beings, and it should be umpired by human beings.
And Gonzalez really burnt and had to walk back off the mound and get several of his teammates to come around and talk to him. And the home plate umpire is Don January, going to get a little conversation from Dave Snow as he heads out toward the mound. Now, an umpire cannot argue, or a coach cannot argue balls and strikes, but he can say something that shows his displeasure.
Well, that's what we talked about, the dichotomy of this game. Obviously, the players who go out and perform, we understand they're going to make physical mistakes, but we want our umpires to be perfect, and that just can't happen. They do the best job they possibly can. It's a lot of pressure on everybody.
If you are watching on television that wide shot we had, that is not a funnel cloud in center field. We're grateful to tell you that. It's part of a cloud just hanging down. That looks nasty from the Midwest, but it's not what it appears to be.
Well, those Our Fathers and Hail Marys really work, Ben.
Armando Rios, 2 for 4. He represents the winning run. Doubled in the 7th to tie the ball game. Taps that one foul. And 2 years ago had the 2-run homer that beat Wichita State. So if you want somebody up who responds to the pressure, this kid has done it. Even the fans have the rally caps on.
Well, we know there's something known as deja vu.
Armando Rios' brother trying to pull his senior center fielder through.
2 runs in will tie it. 3 will win it.
1-1. Gonzalez took a quick peek on that turn down to the bullpen. Like, well, it's all mine.
He also looked at Rodriguez to get reassurance.
Hit the left, sets it early, but that's in there. Oh my, it's off the wall, and it comes back to center. This game is going to be tied. Williams will score. 5-5. Holy cow. Do you believe this? Nobody in this series is done until you put the stake in their heart.
We talked about deja vu, and that was 6 feet from deja vu. That was almost a 3-run home run. Rios just nails that ball to left center, and he's looking, can it go? Can it go? Now he gets the bag, sees the bag in time.
Armando Rios, 3 for 5, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. He tied it up in the 7th. And now he's tied it up in the 9th. What a performance. Look at this. They don't want this much.
In the bodies of men lie young boys.
And Sandy Bertman is breathing a little easier. Russ Johnson comes up with 1 out. He's 1 for 3. And now some action in the Long Beach State bullpen. Todd Walker would be next. Wild pitch. And the winning run is at third. And Rios made the big turn. Oh, man. Now the infield has to come in, and Watley never had a chance.
Watley, one of the best defensive catchers I've seen in college baseball, gets in perfect position, and it goes off his left shoulder. Nothing he can do about a ball that bites and kicks up like that.
And Rios knew better than to try to be a hero. He's already been one. A runner at third, 1 out, and they are indicating Russ Johnson is going to get the free pass now.
Well, I'm quite sure they're going to load the bases with 1 out.
If they walk Todd Walker, the next hitter, it would leave it up to Berrios. Of course, Walker is a left-handed hitter, but a guy who's been 3 for 4 and shown the great stroke. 400 hitter for his 2 years in college baseball. Might walk him too. I would. He would set up a force at the plate. Don't let get ahead of ourselves here. They'll walk Johnson, and now we'll see what they do with Walker.
The theory is don't let the best player on the opposing team beat you if you can all avoid it.
Dave Goldstein is the relief pitcher warming for Long Beach State. He is the right-hander, and if they do put Walker on, they might go to him to pitch to Berrios. The ninth. No indication yet that they will walk Todd Walker. The winner goes to the national championship game tomorrow.
They're going to pitch to him. This game could easily be over. Sometimes you'll throw a couple of strikes or a couple of pitches just to see what the alignment is out there.
It was almost over there. Watley had to go way outside to get it. The outfield is way in. They've got to be in a position to throw out the runner at third.
Well, I'd bring that infield even in just a touch more.
Got him swinging 1-1.
Great matchup. The toughest left-handed pitcher in this series against the left-handed hitters against possibly the best left-handed hitter in this series. It's Todd Walker's dad.
Dave Snow showing tremendous faith in Gabe Gonzalez. Breaking ball hit the glove of the first baseman. It's over. LSU wins it 6-5 with 3 in the bottom of the ninth. Holy cow. A base hit for Todd Walker, his 4th of the ball game. And LSU rises from its own ashes to get 3 in the bottom of the ninth and win it over a broken-hearted Long Beach State Ball Club. We have had more miracle finishes in this College World Series than you can count.
This one in the bottom of the ninth. In this, the Cardiac World Series. They pitched to the best hitter on the LSU team, and he answered with a line shot off the first baseman.
John Swanson just eaten up by it, and Walker knows it's over. Young man who had struggled through the College World Series gets 4 hits and 5 trips, and his father part of the celebration. That is the 9th comeback win in this cardiac World Series. We'll be back to Omaha in just a minute. Once again, LSU the winner.